Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday night on Whiskey Wars. Good to see everybody. We got Bobby popping in here early. And of course, we got the Turks with us. I'm getting a little bit of echo, guys. I should
probably us.
Yeah. So got the Turks here, Drifting Drams, with us, and they've sent me a bunch of samples. We're going to go through 4 of theirs and 4 of mine tonight, so that will be a lot of fun. So we'll be getting into that here shortly. But let me say hi to everybody real quick. So Bobby, say I'll jump in later. Yeah, so we'll probably do hour and a half with the Turks, and then we'll let some folks on after that, and we'll all hang out. But for now, just going to kind of focus on the Turks and their kind of newish channel, Drifting Drams, and talk about what they got coming, and also drink a lot of good whiskey. So, see here. Oh, there's you guys saying hello to everybody. There you go.
Yeah.
John Crayons. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Katie Turk as well. So we had Katie earlier as well. So you're in the chat and also on screen. Big Head Bourbon. Cheers, buddy. Good to see you. Sean Willis. Made it just in time. Cheers, buddy. Good to see. Actually, let me pour this. So I finally got a bottle that it's worth calling a celebration bottle. So this is the Bardstown Bourbon Company distillery only release. They're Firklin. The breakdown is not on here. Crap. I probably should have brought that up. But it's like 17-year-old Tennessee and then 12-year-old, 2 different Kentuckys, and then a 21-year-old Irish, which is kind of interesting. So you guys gotten any of this? If not, you will be getting some. So
I don't think we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
We heard about it at the distillery last time we were at Bardstown, and it sounded amazing.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Whether it's $200 good is, for debate, but I thought it was really excellent, so I bought it. And so Cork Pop, and kind of my late 1,000 celebration bottle. We're a couple hundred late on that, but that's okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I gotta say I do miss the heavier cork topper, like on this guy here, the thing that was like a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But still pretty solid cork there. But anyway, let me cheers you folks with this here. Oh, that nose is awesome. Anyway, Dan LB, cheers, buddy. Oh, and Sugar Kitty's here as well. Cheers to you guys. DMC, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Saw David at the Kentucky meetup not too long ago. Cool running. Cheers to you. And hey, the Turks. What's up, AZ? Good to see you.
Cheers, AZ.
So I'm going to sip on this a little bit now, but not a whole lot. I'll probably save some of this for later as well. The only, I guess, downside, and it's probably, I would assume, due to, maybe just the distillery's choice or maybe the low proof of the Irish, but it's only 102.4. But a lot of flavor for 102.4.
Yeah, man, we've been loving some Irish lately, especially older Irish, like 12 plus. Man, that the pineapple and tropical fruit note you get off of it, it's one of a kind, right?
Yeah, and it really pairs well with the bourbon that's going on in it. It's a lot of older bourbon as well, so
yep.
Pretty good stuff. And of course, even though they don't say that the Tennessee 17-year is probably Dickel, but it doesn't really bother me when it gets into like higher age stated Dickel. Like I don't mind it as much. That minerality kind of goes away some.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Nice.
Yeah. That's always my one complaint. But yeah, that said, I have had some higher proof Irish, thanks to Stacy. And Stacy, I'm going to have to get you some of this because I think you'll really appreciate it. Of course, the Turks are getting some as well. Firklin is a nice Irish whiskey. I have a few of theirs. Okay, cool. And cheers to you, Stacy. Let's see here. So let me get my first sip in here and properly cheers everybody. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Cheers. And I hate to be that guy, Sean, but I think it's for Cullen.
Probably. It probably is. And it's okay to be that guy. I'm probably going to say it wrong all night, even though you just said it properly. And I'm going to forget. Fair. Yeah. So don't think that I'm ignoring your good advice to say it right. I just won't remember. So
all good, man.
Stacey H will set us
Yeah,
straight.
I just feel like Stacy's gonna like grit her teeth every time.
Yes. So for Cullen, right? I got for Cullen. Actually, the girl who's behind the bar at Bardstown, because we sampled the Disco 8, the Disco 9, and this, and me and Jacob Jack on YouTube here, and we both decided that this was clearly the best, even though it is what $50 more, $60 more, but it was $60 better easily. I got to say, on that note, nothing against Mr. Minnick, but I'm surprised by his review of 9. Now having had it, I mean, it was good, but he said something to the effect that is like, one of the best things he'd put in his mouth in a while. So I mean, it's a good whiskey. I don't know if it's $140 whiskey, which is why I didn't buy it. So
I think that's the same problem that you have that I have with Bardstown altogether right now, right? It's with all their distillery releases, for Cullen included, the disco's been edging up because originally, not even originally, 3 or 4 years ago they were at 120, and now they're flirting with 150. It's just they're getting more and more expensive, and they're blending in less desirable barrels, not bad barrels, but less desirable.
Yeah,
and it hurts a little bit.
It does. Yeah. So, I mean, this was my last distillery only that I got from them that I really liked, which was the Pfeiffer Pavitt XO, which is sadly almost gone. I love this so much. It's still like one of my favorite bourbons of all time, but I just love the Chardonnay influence in that. And like it was in there something like 44 months in Chardonnay barrel. So it's got a lot of it. I think the standard release was something like 20. So it's like over double the amount of time. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's surprising that it didn't go like heavily tannic, with the extended releases or extended aging in a secondary barrel.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of a drying note on the back end, but it's not bad. Like, and I don't mind that. I don't mind a little bit. And I'm used to drinking a lot of dry red wine, so that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like two of my favorite things blended together, and it works really well to me. So
for sure.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, we drink some red wine as well.
I think I'm just salty about the Thomas S. Moores. Like I expected more out of them for the price, and the proof was not there. And yeah.
How long are those in the secondary barrel?
18 months to 2 years.
I thought some went longer.
I think some have gone longer. Some of the more recent releases, like the Merlot and the Cognac.
I thought they went up to like 30 months.
Yeah.
It's a long time. And then like some of the longer finishes, you try them and you're like, this has been in a wine barrel for 30 months? Are you kidding me? No way. They must have like retoasted the barrel or something between using it. Like there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, so I watched some other reviews on the Pfeiffer Pavitt XO, and a lot of people complained about it having a lot of wine influence, which to me that's like the point. But anyway, so like my complaint was, say, like Angel's Envy, for instance, is that there's very little wine influence. So it's not, it doesn't really, I mean, it changes the experience a little bit, but it's not enough for me to make it interesting. It's too much like a standard bourbon and not necessarily a great one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But anyway, I'm going to save that last sip of that for later.
Yeah,
so we can get into your stuff. So do you want to go through mine first or your first? Doesn't matter to me.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
You're in charge here.
Yeah, you're in charge. I think the lowest proof is probably Pursuit United.
Okay. Yeah. It may actually be the moonshine, but I feel like that might like screw up her palates because it's got some interesting herbal notes.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we could start with the Pursuit United, or let's see. So Larceny B521 is 121. This This is fairly low. Oh, well, no, it's basically the same. 120.2. And then this is pretty high. It's 130. So, yeah, I guess the Pursuit United's probably looks like a lot of cast strength tonight.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Which is fine by me. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, if we want to start with the Pursuit United. The rye. Okay. Yeah. So, here we go.
It's prescription bourbon. I read that as dork rye.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. So let's talk about this just briefly before we get into good whiskey. I despise that rye so much because it's okay. First off, it's not even really a rye because they blend the wine into it. It's a blend of wine and rye, so it doesn't work. Like it's not like a second barreling. They just straight up blend the wine in.
Oh wow!
I don't know who would decide that was a good idea. It's not. It tastes like sour wine. That's what it tastes like.
Well, yeah, I can imagine it oxidizes. Like,
yeah. I mean, so if you've had like a wine bottle open for like say 2 weeks, not refrigerated, you know what happens to it. That's what it tastes like. Yeah, it tastes just like that. It's awful.
Yeah, using it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember you got that off 21090 guys. Yeah. I was very envious of you, David, because I wanted the standard release, which I never got, to compare to the XO. But I'm glad you got it, man. I'm glad you're liking it because I really like the XO, so I'm sure the standard release is good as well. And there is Stacy's link. And by the way, everybody that's watching, the link to, I suppose you guys have seen it, to Drifting Drams, which is the Turks channel, is pinned at the top. So please subscribe if you have not. Support them. And they're very generous people. Awesome to hang out with. I've met them in person. Ethan is a giant.
That's true.
And Katie is lovely. She's very nice, as is Ethan, but he's also a giant. So there's that.
That's fair.
So I tell you, you guys really seal these things up. I've just been kind of BSing, just trying to get this freaking tape off.
So yeah, you got to find where it starts, and it's electrical tape, right? So it'll just unwrap. But you got to find that right spot, otherwise you're going to be there all night.
I tore it on accident because I wasn't looking, and that made it quite difficult. Anyway, now we can finally get into this. Now that I've figured out how to take tape off of the bottle. All right, here we go. So I'm going to save a little. I'll do like half the bottle there. What else we got rolling in here?
Looks like Lilith is in here too.
Yeah, cheers, Lil.
Cheers, Lil.
Hey, yeah, cheers. How we doing? Good to see you. Yeah, just shot a review of that Wild Turkey 13 you guys gave me, which was awesome. Thank you, guys. And yeah, Stacy, I would say that's a pretty accurate description of the Basil Hayden's Dark Rye. It's like spicy vinegar. Yeah, it's pretty spot on. It's not good. It's unpleasant. What is this? Oh yes, there is the link again. So no reason to not subscribe. It's all over the place. It's at the top. It's right there. Wow, that is a nice rye.
Yeah, so this one is it's put out by Bourbon Pursuit Podcast, right? Their brand is Pursuit United now. And this is batch 1. Batch 2 is actually a little bit better, but I think when we sent you these, we were still trying to get our batch 2.
Okay.
And so this one's a 3-year. It's blended from so it's Bardstown Bourbon Company rye. It is 2 different ryes. An older, like I think it's a 7 or 8 year MGP from Sagamore, and then Sagamore's own 3-year juice.
Oh, interesting.
And it's kind of in that sweet spot of like 108 proof, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
a
nice, easy, like start of the night pour.
That nose is really nice. I like that it's not as light as an MGP rye on the nose, and not as bright either for it being, some of the stuff being younger. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this.
Yeah, I love Maryland rye.
Yeah, oh man, that is excellent. Yeah. Nice rye spice punch on kind of the back end. Very sweet up front, but also dark darker than just the MGP rye on its own. I'm curious. So I'm curious where, I guess, you think that's Sagamore that's giving it that influence, or would you say it's Bardstown? I've never had Bardstown rye on its own, so I'm not even familiar with that profile.
So we've had a rare character rye pick, and from Matt, and from there was one more. I think it was Justin House of Bourbon.
Yep.
And both of those are rumored to be Bardstown rye in the 5-year range.
5-6 year range, yeah.
And those are spectacular, but I think that darker note that you're talking about, I think that is that older MGP.
It's the older MGP,
okay.
And then like the Sagamore, I think adds to it because we've got when we were at Sagamore back about a couple of weeks ago now, we got to try like Sagamore's own juice versus MGP's juice, and it was very interesting to see like which way it's kind of leaning and the combination.
Yeah.
So because I have some stuff that's older MGP, I think it's a 6-year or 7-year that I got from Todd, and it's really minty. I don't get. So I guess it depends on the barrel, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And if it's a 95.5, like their typical 95.5.
Oh, so is this not? This is their
I don't
lower
know
rye.
if it's the 95.5.
I think the MG. So they don't say, but because since they're buying barrels, right, they're having to. Oh, nice! You got your first bot for the night.
Hey, all right, first bottle of the night. Free barrels in U City.
Hey, where's U City?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the
girls sign up for this. I'm curious. Anyway, continue, Ethan.
It had to be Sugar Kitty's fault. That has him all over it.
Dang it, Sugar Kitty.
So I lost the train of thought. Oh yeah, so 95.5. There's a huge amount of variation at 95.5, and they haven't said whether it's whether the older MGP is a 95.5 or a barely legal, because they haven't. Sagamore has told everybody that they buy both from MGP.
Mm-hmm.
But since Pursuit United is buying these barrels, they're under a little bit of an NDA, I guess, so they can't tell exactly what's in it.
Yeah, that is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
When we tried it the first time, it was like we had ordered a bottle or ordered 2, and in a night, I think we had drank it down about that much. And normally we don't drink that much in a night. So we ordered 2 more real quick, and they were sold out like within a few hours of us ordering them. Because I was like, it would make a good cocktail, like a good like rye old fashioned, like for winter with some like smoked cinnamon bitters. Like it makes good old fashions.
Yeah, what I like is like there's kind of that minty cooling effect on the back end with the rye spice as well. So I like that combination for a finish. That's really nice.
Yeah, what I like about it is, so it's still not a cheap bottle. It comes in right at 65 most places. We've seen that Benny's at 60 before. But hey, cheers, Jeff.
Jeffrey Wack. How we doing, buddy?
But it's nice that it's, at least for craft, it's more toward that value side, right? I mean, it's no Green River, but it's better value than a lot of craft places, and they're able to keep on blending it, right? And so they put out batch 2 6 months ago, something like that, and it's even better because the juice that they're pulling from at Bardstown and at Sagamore, I believe, is getting older. So now it's a 4-year minimum instead of a 3. And so it's getting deeper and bigger each year, and it's exciting. It's good stuff.
So the reason I was looking around is because Jeffrey sent me a sample box. It's over there. That's why I couldn't see it. Yes, but thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, so I'm going to be hanging out with those fantastic Livewire guys doing a blind with them here soon, so that'll be fun. And thank you, Jeffrey, for providing the bottles for the blind. You're awesome, man.
Oh, that'll be fun. When is that supposed to be? Do y'all have a date yet?
I don't know. I need to talk with Mike. I don't know where I'm at in the bracket, so I don't know if it's this Sunday. Haven't heard yet when my date is, but either way, it'll be fun time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, I don't even know who I'm battling. So all around a surprise.
Do you have your chug bottle picked out already?
I usually pick day of. I just look for one that's kind of low that I need to kill off, or one that I don't plan on sharing. Like so that like I kind of know the ones that I usually go for budget bottles because nobody's gonna want to share from that anyway. So
That's fine.
You mean you're not chugging Old Forester barrel proof?
No. Well, so I have done that early on in the joining of the Live Wire. I did a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof one night. That was a bad idea. That was a really rough. That was a rough Monday.
That sounds.
But yeah, I don't do that much anymore. I've gotten a little wiser in the last couple months.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be less dumb. Oh, it's me versus Stahl. Okay, perfect. All right, so I might have a chance. I'll probably still fail miserably, but Mike is also notoriously bad at blind, so I have a chance. Is this the losers category, Jeff? I'm assuming that's what it is. I am horrible at blind, so.
I mean, if Stahl's in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going against Adam, then that's almost a definite loss for anyone. So Stahl's a better opponent.
Yeah, I would say Stahl will probably still win. But I don't know if you saw when I battled Joe. I think I got 2 points out of the whole thing. I don't do well at blinds. I'm really good at drinking whiskey, though. I'm pretty good at that.
I'm with you there.
As long as you're good at that, like
by being sort of giant. I'm not Ethan's level of giant, but I'm it helps. It spreads the whiskey around more.
It does. You got more blood, so you can drink more whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
But blood alcohol content, right? That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's my skill, is drinking a lot. But knowing none of what I'm drinking also. What's up, Paul, my dude? Man, Paul is, I mean, there's so many generous people in Whiskey Tube. But so, again, I'm amazed by Paul bringing these as like handouts at the Kentucky meetup. Paul brought one of these for every person that was at the Kentucky meetup.
Wow.
These are Jack Daniel 375 picks that he picked up. Yeah, I don't know how many he got. I guess like 2 cases. I don't know. Paul can tell
awesome.
you. He got a lot of them. Yeah, that was an awesome gift. And this is a better single barrel proof than the one I had. So it's a very good one. So thank you again, Paul. And thank you also for this. So he brought this to the meetup as well. And then he just kind of pulls me aside. He's like, when we're done here, just take that home with you. I was like, okay.
Twist your arm, right?
Yeah, you talked me into it.
Some of those bottles are spectacular.
It's a pretty good one. It's pretty.
I have you at Bardstown. We saw Paul. Y'all were hanging out with Paul that day too.
Yes. Yeah, he's just a little bit south of me there. Well, I guess he's fairly close to you guys as well. So you guys are west and he's east Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's over by Chattanooga there.
Okay.
And then also, this tonight is sponsored by Paul. He also gave me this bottle. Paul and the Turks have made this night possible. I don't really buy any whiskey. People just keep giving it to me. No, you guys
sounds like you're doing the right things then.
I guess. I feel like I don't deserve it, but yeah. I chugged peated Irish whiskey. There you go. That's the girl.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, that is very ballsy.
Oh, it's an exhibition match, not in the bracket. Okay, that makes sense. When I send the blind, my main goal is to enjoy, surprise, and have fun. Yeah, me too, Jeffrey. I don't really expect to do well at all, but I'm going to have a blast either way. Yeah, I'm certain that even though I know that Mike always says he's terrible at it as well, I'm pretty certain Mike will pull out a win finally. So Paul is awesome. He is. Paul is an awesome dude. Plus, he's awesome to hang out with. He's hilarious. He's just a good dude. Anyway, so do you want to go back and forth or go through all years at once? I'm out of whiskey, so
let's go back and forth.
Okay. So let's see. Going from the rye, maybe the Chattanooga single barrel.
Yeah.
That's low-ish I mean, it's 120.2, so it's not.
Ish.
None of these are low, but anyway.
In this circle, that's low.
Yeah, exactly. And this was a bottle I won from 21090. I think it was actually a bottle that Andy had bought and drank some of, and then decided he didn't want, and I was a proud recipient of it. I think it's pretty good. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Chattanooga is doing some great things.
They are.
Yeah, I'm liking a lot of their stuff.
Some are better than others, but you got to get through those.
Did you get any of the founders?
We did. We snagged a bottle when we saw it. We had to.
Yep.
What were your guys' thoughts on that?
We actually haven't cracked it yet. We're bringing it. So we're going to the Louisiana Bourbon Festival next weekend. I think we leave early Friday morning.
Yep.
We convinced Doug H. and Fred from Friday at Fred's and Brian to drive up to Baton Rouge to meet us. So we're going to crack it with them since they're big Chattanooga people. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Well, I think you guys will like it a lot. It's one of my favorite $50 bottles this year. It's fantastic. So, yeah, I think Chattanooga really did a great job with it.
They came and they went, though, those Founders bottles. Like, they disappeared hard.
Well, I mean, as I said, the only reason I got one is because Paul picked one up because he's right there in Chattanooga area. So, yeah, thank you again to Paul because I never saw one here in Kentucky. Zero. So. Did they even make it out of Tennessee? I don't even know.
They did, but not very much.
I think they made it down to Georgia, maybe.
Okay.
And hit seal box, but hit seal box very, very quick. And they were gone. They were gone in a matter of hours from seal box.
Yeah. Yeah, they went quick.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a great bottle. Very good. I'm kind of nursing it because I'm halfway through and there's no more. So yeah.
I mean, you can make your own.
Right, yeah. I guess, yeah, if I knew what the heck these numbers on the back meant and I could get all those, then I guess I could make my own, whatever.
Well, the cool thing about Chattanooga, right, is, and it's the blessing and the curse for them, what they do is so unique, right? So even if they put out another Founders, it's going to be totally different because they have so many different barrels, so many different mash bills.
Right.
And even within that, their maltiness is so unique that I feel like they're going to have more variation among single barrels even. So
yeah,
I feel like you could take some older MGP, a 7 or 8 year pick, mix it with a Chattanooga bib, tell somebody it was Founders, and they'd be like, "Oh wow, really? This is good."
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. And I love that that maltiness on mainly. I mainly pick it up on the finish.
Yep.
I love that. It kind of reminds me of some of the American single malts that are coming out now, which I really dig those. Like this Balcones here that I'm very proud of. I love that pick. Have you guys had any of those? Any of the American single malts, like the Balcones picks? Or
we've had Westland. I think Westland and Starward.
Starward's not American.
Not American. So
we've
Westland.
had some Stranahans too, but none of the cast strength.
We've heard the cast strength Stranahans is.
Yeah, we heard
where it's at.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that from Steven, Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans.
Yep.
And but I haven't seen any picks out here. There's just the standard offering, which is it's good, but I think it's a little high for what it is. Excuse me, but still good. Yeah, but I'll have to send you guys some of that Balcones pick because yes, it's very good. I enjoy it immensely.
You saw Balcones got acquired, huh?
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it at all. I swear, if Diageo ruins Balcones, they're going to be really pissed off because it's become one of my favorite brands this year. I mean, I'm just loving a lot of their cast ring picks. I haven't had one I didn't like, so Diageo better not ruin it.
I mean, Diageo doesn't have a great track record with whiskey brands.
No, they don't. I was like, of all people that could have bought them, why Diageo? And then Wilderness Trail got bought by
Campari. Yeah. I'm concerned about that one, but to me, Diageo buying Balcones is almost a definite problem, right? Whereas
Yeah.
Campari might do the right thing with Wilderness Trail, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because they have turkey, and like they haven't ruined turkey. Like turkey's still awesome. So hopefully, they leave it alone and let them keep doing their thing. And yeah, and I'm not even like the biggest Wilderness Trail fan. I just, it feels like the big companies, they want to just push towards that appeal to everybody market.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody, not us.
Yeah.
Appeal to the mass market. Just soft, easy drinking palate that's boring as hell, and nobody gives a crap about.
Yeah.
So
That's the hard part about Campari, right? Because they do that some, but then they've got some like Russell's 10. Like that's a solid budget pour.
yeah,
And so it's like, okay, well, but then at the other end, they just kill you with the limited release nonsense, right? They've been doing so much of that with turkey lately. It's driving me mad.
yeah, like that single warehouse at $250. Like that's not the turkey I know. Like,
Right.
I don't. I really doubt Jimmy signed off on that because, like, I can't
Oh,
imagine a Kentucky boy signing off on a $250 friggin' bourbon. Yeah, I don't know. That was a big money grab. And I mean, so Jacob actually had a pour of that when he was down here in Kentucky, and he said it was phenomenal, but not 250.
Yeah, I was gonna say 250 phenomenal, or
I feel like it's the same problem that Dixon had at Kentucky Owl after Stoley bought him, right? It was like he had approval of all blends, but then once he made a blend, it got marked up to 5 times what he wanted to charge for it.
Yes.
it was like when Dry State came out, and
Oh god,
it was what, $1,000
Yeah.
a bottle or something like that from.
Yeah, and that's why I never have owned a Kentucky Owl product, because I've had many that I liked, but then the price tag just doesn't match up. Like, I think, okay, I could have, whatever instead for like half the price. So it just doesn't make sense. What's up, Scott? How we doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah, cheers, Scott.
Cheers, Scott. I'm digging this single barrel. It has
I
like a
am.
honey malt, like a sugar smacks, honey smacks note to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this bottle. I'm kind of surprised that Andy gave it away. But good for me.
Yeah. But Chattanooga's not for everybody, right? We have a buddy in Washington who's a home brewer, and the maltiness of it just does not do it for him. He's a turkey fiend, loves it. He almost anything we put in front of him, he loves. But the maltiness of Chattanooga just throws him for some reason.
See, I love that. I think it makes the finish a lot more interesting than, and so I'm always looking for like new profiles. I'm sure you guys are too. I mean, you guys have a vast collection, so I'm sure you two are looking for something, new and different. I mean, that's kind of why like Balcones has kind of been my thing this year, because it's so different than a lot of stuff on the market. I mean, there is other Texas bourbons that are somewhat similar, but Balcones kind of has their own thing going on. You kind of always find some notes that are in pretty much everything they do. And like you were saying, Ethan, that's not necessarily for everyone. I mean, I get a lot of crap about my love for Balcones, but that's okay. I'm going to love them anyway, as long as Diageo didn't screw it up.
But those single barrels are so vastly different. Like, people might have a really bad one, or a store that says, all right, well, we have these 3 barrels and you can have one. They're not tasting them,
Yeah, so that happens with everything, though. I've had
for sure.
1792 foolproof picks that were awful. It just tasted like cinnamon flavored vodka, but it was like 130 proof vodka, so it was not pleasant at all. It was I don't know where even I've never had anything from 1792 that tasted like that. So I don't even know where they got this barrel, but it was bad. And it's a local store so there's a group of guys locally that run a particular kind of store that all the bottles are behind the counter and they're 3 times the price that they should be. I think we all know the kind of store we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they also have enough money to do picks, and none of them know anything about whiskey. I don't know who's picking the barrel. I don't know if anybody's even picking them. They probably just say, give us a barrel, I would assume, because I know 2 of the guys that are owners, and they don't drink whiskey because I've talked to them about it, and they don't drink whiskey at all. So I don't know who's picking these barrels.
Right.
It's just, it's just a pick so they can charge more for it, and
Well, it's funny, like when you go to places where the pick is like maybe like $1 or $2 more than like the regular offering. It's like I enjoy those stores. Like, well done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Mr. Great Shot, he's looking for whiskey for me there in Texas, mainly Balcones and still Austin stuff, and they get like foolproof for like $40 to $50. This store locally is charging $90 for a 1792 foolproof pick. And it's bad. It's not. It's a bad pick. Yeah. So anyway, you're gonna say something, Ethan.
There was a place in Washington that did that. Like, we walked in one day and they had 1792 12-year on the shelf for $60, and then they had just normal foolproof, and it was $120.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah. He had no idea.
No idea what he had. It's like,
I think we ended up buying like 6 or 8 bottles of 12-year from him. I think after we bought so many, he realized, and I think the next time we went in, we saw it marked up to 100.
Yeah, he's like, I think I screwed up.
Exactly. Yeah. His pricing was a little bit off there.
But we bought him because like we knew people that were looking for him, and you don't see them, so it's like, okay, well, we have a source, so here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So Cheech, I know Cheech did find a couple founders down there in Florida. Never saw any in Kentucky, and I was driving around pretty often looking. At least not Southern Kentucky. I didn't get up past Lexington, but Southern Kentucky, never saw one. Of course, it could have been one of those things where they come in that day and they're gone that day. So you have to be there within like the hour they show up or whatever.
It probably was. There was a lot of hype around that Founders bottle.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. Question for the Turks. Curious what the Turks think of Tennessee Tasters.
In general, love them. So we have not tried the new ones yet. I think I'm looking at a new one there, right? Or is that one of the old ones?
One of the old ones.
So we have one of the old ones in the house. I think it's downstairs. Maybe in the after hours we'll go down and grab it.
Oh, the new one. The one we found last week.
The new one, yeah. So I thought I said that. Sorry. So the old ones in general, love them. There's definitely some misses for us, but unique stuff, and of course, like the Jack Barrel Proof Rye. Come on, right? That's just stupid good stuff.
Yeah.
And when you couldn't find the heritage bottle of the rye, and like these were sitting on the shelf at the distillery, it was like,
yeah,
why not?
Right.
Yeah.
But they've rebranded them slightly right now. They're like the Distillery Series or Distiller Series, and we haven't had them. We haven't had them since then. We just found them the last week or so.
Yeah, last Friday we found them. Have you had any of those, Sean?
No, I haven't. And mainly because like the prices, like around here, they're not cheap. I don't know what they run in your area, but okay, so yeah, they're expensive there too.
No.
40.
So retail's 40. We found the barrel proof rye for $37.50 at the gift shop.
Oh, okay. Well, I would buy that.
Yeah, that's why, like, when we see them, I think this year we paid $43 for one, but Tennessee has like a 10% markup, so it's not
like
that
10%
much.
additional.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, see here, if I see them in Kentucky, they're usually like $60. So
yeah. Some of them I would pay $60 for. Like the barrel proof rye, I'd probably pay $64 if I ever saw that again. But a lot of them, no, not 60. They're interesting for one or two at 40, but that's.
So the only one I've seen is like, what was it, like the Caribbean, some kind of like rum or something.
Jamaican.
There was a Jamaican allspice.
Allspice.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, there's somewhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah, that one was one that I wouldn't buy again at 40. Again, interesting, but not even in my top 5.
The other one was an oatmeal stout that you weren't a fan of. It was a twin blend. I liked it because I like oatmeal stouts, but it wasn't, the proof wasn't there.
Well, and I like oatmeal stouts too, but other than a little bit of the mouthfeel you get like from the oatmeal and that you'd get in a stout, like there wasn't anything special about it. It was just like drinking 86 proof Jack for me.
Yeah. There's the man himself, Mark, Mr. Great Shot.
Here's Mark.
Speaking of Mark, I need to get you some money, so remind me later. Yeah, this is how I whiskey shop now because I'm tired of buying stuff in Kentucky because all the stuff I want is marked way up, and so I just buy stuff out of state and have it shipped to me because it's usually still cheaper.
Yeah,
and I can get stuff that I can't get here, so why not?
I mean, might as well.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. There's a lot of things around us that we either can't find or if we do, they're marked up. But we're kind of in a weird market. Like if you're in Nashville, you can get things. Sometimes you have to fight for them, but you can get them. Or if you're in Memphis, you can get things. But we're kind of in between. And so the stores around us aren't really big enough to get the good stuff. And thankfully, we like to travel, right? And so we'll find stuff all over the place. And then with knowing so many people in this community, they'll tell us about some of their honey holes because they know we're not going to be in town forever. So they'll tell us, yeah, swing by there, like with the added thing of like once. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Go right now and tell nobody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. This one confuses me. I like it, but I'm getting like a spiciness on the end that keeps making me think I'm drinking a rye.
Yeah. Well, that's why I transitioned to this because it does have a lot of that spice on the back end. So yeah, it's got that sweetness from the malt that I like, but then also that spiciness, and that's like my favorite kind of finish. I love a spicy and sweet finish that hangs around for a while. Lets you know you're drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
I like that.
Well, and what really gets me about it is I keep thinking I'm drinking the Bottled and Bond. Now the Bottled and Bond is a little bit lower proof, of course, but I love that they'll blend all kinds of crazy stuff into it, right? Like the spring 2018, they blended rye into it and their normal stuff and just of multiple different varieties. And so I love that they're doing that. They're making them different, like truly different, not just varying a little bit from season to season.
Yeah. So on Chattanooga. So yeah, Stacy, really, for anybody in Chad, if you can find Stacy a bottle of the Founder, she will love you forever. I promise, because I sent her a sample and she really enjoyed it. I wish I had more to go. I mean, I have some, but it's very precious to me. If I had a backup bottle, I would give you that one. But that's all I got. I really like it. If anybody has an extra, talk to Stacy. I think you probably come to an agreement.
For sure. We'll definitely keep an eye out for her too. Like they might pop up again. You never know.
True. It's true. Yeah. Weirdly, B522 just popped back up here at a local store. Like they came in, May, June, like when they were supposed to. And then like some guy locally just got a shipment of a case of B522 for some reason.
That's crazy.
So I picked up a second bottle, which will probably be a bottle giveaway at some point.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do, if we can get to 25 Patreons, I'm going to have you guys vote on what the bottle will be for, one Patreon. We'll get a bottle. If we can get to 25. Like, so I lost a Patreon this week, but not really. Hey, doggy.
Yeah.
I thought I heard some. So I lost one, but really it was a double Patreon that just upped his Patreon to the next tier and canceled the double. So yeah. So it's
gotcha.
Like same money basically, but just one less number. So whatever. Mike Hoffer, by the way, you're awesome. I'm sure he's working tonight. He's a police officer, so he's protecting his community. Warehouse collapse. What are we talking about, David? Thank you for running everywhere. Oh yeah, the mini streams going on right now. Diageo won't screw up Balcones. They will just raise the price and release annual overpriced bottles once a year. Probably. Honestly, that's true. So Balcones is really cheap right now for like what they're putting out. I mean, like this pick was like $70 for a cast strength single malt. And that's like I'm used to paying more than that for picks. So
sure,
I was very happy with that. And actually, I guess that's cheaper than. So Steven paid $85 for his out in Arizona. So he told me if they're still available to pick him up one. So I plan on doing that. Yeah. And the thing is, it was dusty. It was just sitting on a bottom shelf in Total Wine's pick area, covered in dust. Nobody's touching them. So they're probably still there.
Probably.
Yeah.
When I go back, I'm buying two, one for me and one for Steven.
Just as a backup, huh?
Yeah, because I love that pick. It's so good. And then, Mark's getting me some stuff, working on a big box to send you, brother. Yeah. I'm going to owe Mark a lot of money. That's what's going to happen. But I'm going to get some awesome stuff. Oh, that's right. Still Austin put out a rye. I have not had that.
They did.
Yeah. Well, I'm very interested in trying it. I
Yep.
mean, they're still Austin's cast strength price is really a good price point. It's like 40 or
Yeah.
$50, maybe.
To me, I love the Chattanooga Founders, but that's the best $50 bottle that exists right now. There's nothing I like better than that Still Austin cast strength. It's so stinking good for $50.
I agree.
They're gonna start doing picks. One of our groups, Baton Rouge Bourbon Society, is gonna get one, and it should be phenomenal. I think they're getting like one of 3 to various groups this year. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, not that I'm trying to get more people to ask Mark to get him whiskey, but so Mark, Mr. Great Shot, he's in Austin. So,
Okay.
So he was telling me that occasionally Nancy Fraley picks of Still Austin cast strength will be available at local stores, which is awesome.
Yep. Definitely need to reach out to him.
So she's like doing a pick of like a pick because she's already making it.
Yeah.
He's blending it, and then it's like picking the best stuff that she already made, which is so it's like the best of the best. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Nancy, she was actually in the chat the other night for Blendageddon, and that was fun. She's so damn humble and down to earth, right?
Yeah.
She's basically whiskey royalty, right? She's the closest thing that we have to Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I
would say better than Queen Elizabeth because Queen Elizabeth never made whiskey. So
well, I agree with you there. But as far as like an icon, she's the closest thing we have, right? She is like the blender in the whiskey world.
Yeah.
And she'll just come into a chat and shoot the shit with a bunch of random people for 3 hours, right?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It was like 2-3 weeks ago. Me and Nancy were just talking about Still Austin stuff in 21090's chat, like while their live's going. So we're just talking about Still Austin stuff.
Yep.
She's telling me like when picks are coming out and like what to look for and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're awesome.
That's awesome.
That's great, man.
Those picks will be fire.
Yeah.
She's good people. And, and she loves rock and roll and she like collects guitars and she's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, we could talk all night about how awesome Nancy Fraley is, but
that's the truth.
And I've never had anything that she's touched that wasn't amazing. So my favorite sample this year was a Joseph Magnus that I got a sample of, and now I have to get one. I have to find one at a reasonable price, which I have not done yet, but have
you at least seen them or no?
Yeah. So I saw one actually just last weekend when I was with Jacob. We were doing some hunting around there, and we went to a spot that I knew had some good bottles, but they tend to mark up some, not like horribly, but they do mark up. And they want man, why can I not? 375 for a Magnus, and that's more than I wanted to pay. Not awful, but it's still
hard.
It's hard.
It was almost a buy. I was like, it was like, can you come down any more than that? It's like, nah, it's as low as I can go. Like, I considered it. I considered it for a long time. We were in that store for probably 25 minutes because I was just like, walking around, like, what else could I buy? And I was like, I really want that Magnus, but anyway.
Yeah, how can you bundle it together so that you can get one?
Exactly. Yeah. What if I buy these 2 picks? Will you come down $50 on that one?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's Ben. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I got a bunch of bottles for him. Yeah, so actually these 2 Larcenies, and where are the other things?
Larceny barrel proofs or picks?
Yeah. So he got me a C921 because I never saw it here last year.
Nice.
And then he got me the B522.
Nice.
Yeah, not the newest release, but I guess some folks have gotten the C922.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
we haven't either.
And then
no.
he also got me, where is it? It's here. The Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, batch 138, 132, something like that. And then he got me the Motorhead whiskey, which, I mean, it's good, but I just got it because I'm a Motorhead fan. So yeah, kind of had to have it. And it was like $45, so it's not like it was.
Oh yeah, it's not
Right.
a crazy one.
Yeah. And it's actually decent whiskey. It's not horrible. I expected it to be just total trash. And it's drinkable. Like it'll probably just be kind of something I kind of have in the daily rotation until it's killed. And then it'll be a decanter. So
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
freaking Lemmy is my dude. Anyway, so we're probably all out of whiskey. I know I am.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
move along to the next thing. So what do we want to do next? I got 3 Woodinvilles here. Now we're getting into the fun stuff, folks. This is as the thumbnail suggested. Will I like some Woodinville tonight?
So probably one of the Woodinville. Well, yeah, one of the Woodinville finishes next, I'd guess.
Okay.
So you can choose Chardonnay or Petit Syrah. It doesn't matter to us.
Well, so do we want to kind of stick with the rye theme and get the ryes out of the way? Although
true.
We can do that, sure.
last thing we had wasn't a rye, but it's got a lot of rye in it.
Oh,
It had
yeah.
that spice. That's
It
fair.
had all that
We can do that.
spice.
Oh man.
Open bottle.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
this one's a fresh crack for us. We
Oh, okay.
we can't find our open bottle currently.
I might have sampled it all
I
out.
can't imagine why.
I think I might have sampled it all out, actually.
Okay.
I forget.
I mean, there is a pretty impressive wall behind you. So
Oh, the wall behind.
how deep is that? It looks to be at least 3 bottles deep.
It's 3 in some places, 4 in others.
So the the shelves, not the base. The shelves are 3-ish deep, and the bottom is 5 deep in most places.
There you go. Okay, so that's some whiskeys.
Yeah, we've got
There's
a
a
shelf over
to my
there,
left, a shelf to my right.
and then our rye shelf is over here. We've got a barrel in the corner with mostly just picks.
Yeah. So yeah, surrounded by
Somewhat
whiskey.
organized.
Good. Yeah. I tell you, this tape is impressive. I haven't got. There's 0 chance of this leaking. I will give you that. Like there's no
that's the
chance of
goal.
any whiskey being wasted ever.
Oh man, I think Katie had one because Katie fills most samples for us, and I think she had 1 sample leak, and after that she was like, "Never again! I will never have
again."
it leak on me again."
Yeah.
Yeah, the next sample pack will just be covered in JB Well, just to be sure.
Right. Exactly. You understand.
This will never leak.
Oh yeah, it'll be 1 roll of duct tape per sample.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, please hit the likes, folks, if you haven't yet. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And make sure, well, supposedly it makes sure that more people see that we're alive and all the things. And yeah, if you could do that, that'd be good. And also, again, if you have not yet, please subscribe to Drifting Drams and support Ethan and Katie, these awesome people that sent these great samples that we're sipping on tonight. Okay, so, you know, I'm always looking for the Woodinville funk in these things. I'm not getting on the nose, which is good. Of course, this is the rye, so totally different.
Totally different.
I've never had their rye, so I'm curious.
Ooh, then you're skipping right to the good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because their normal rye, they bring down to 90 proof, right? And it's not bad, but it's soft and easy.
Yeah.
And this one's at cask. I think it's 115 and change.
Yep.
But it's a
Yeah.
small batch cask strength rye.
100% rye.
100% winter rye.
Interesting. So, do you know what variety of rye that they use?
I think it's winter. I think it's all winter rye, if I'm not mistaken. I know Frey Ranch is winter, but it doesn't say on here if it's winter or not.
Well, I think even within winter, they have different varieties.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they use. I know they worked with a local farmer there in Quincy, Washington, to find something that would grow in that climate.
So, these are yours right here because this is all I had left. So this is the Merced 90 proof and then the Merced cast strength. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I only had you literally got the last ounce of the 90, and then what's left of the cast strength is going to Ben because I owe him some samples.
Heck yeah.
So Ben, if you're still watching, there you go. But I'm going to work out something with David to get some more shipped over because I want to have that available for samples for Patreons and stuff because I just think it's such a great ride that people need to try it. So
that's a good way to get their name out there too.
Yeah, and David's he's a good dude. I mean, you guys saw him last week.
Yeah, down to earth.
Yeah, super chill, easy to talk to. That's good. It's a good rye.
Is the funk on there for you?
No, it's nothing at all. Like no chemical. Like if there's no like craftiness to this,
right.
Like no like crafty, weird, funky notes. Yeah, if I didn't know that this was Woodinville, I would. I don't know what to compare it to though, because the palette, the notes are. It's not anything like an MGP. What your thoughts? Trying to think.
So I don't know what to compare it to, honestly. For us, it's super unique. It's one that we pull out when people say they don't like rye. It's in the middle, right? It's not minty or dilly. It leans toward mint, but it's got its own funk, right? It's not the Woodinville funk that you call out, apparently. But it's just, man.
To me, it's like a carrot cake almost.
Okay.
It has that spicy, like baking spice, maybe with like a little bit of cream cheese frosting, like sweetness, because there is some sweetness on it.
And there is like a cake note, like sweet. I'm almost like on the nose. It's almost like red velvet cake, like that note. It's very very sweet. So to me, it's kind of like a Willet rye. If you get a Willet rye that doesn't have, some people describe it as dill. I don't necessarily describe it as dill, but it's something like that for me. I don't know what's similar to dill, but so I don't ever perceive it as dill pickle unless somebody is like really pointing that out with me while I'm drinking it. To me, it's just kind of this, I don't know, something else, a green note. But so if
it's very medicinal, herbal.
Yeah. So if you take that off the palate of a Willet, it's sort of similar to that, but still it's very unique. I would say it's lighter than a Willet rye. Like it's not as bold, but in a good way. Not like it's.
Yeah, it's Willet for me. It tends to get like it goes straight to black tea and stays there on their ryes. Mm-hmm. And it just gets boring.
Yeah, that's really nice. Like that's a rye that you could just kind of chill with. Nice, easy drinking for 115.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they're finally starting to do picks of their rye. I think they did 3 or 5 picks of the rye. They finally have built up enough stock where they can, because it used to just be cast strength bourbon was all they were doing picks of. But I know Bourbon Pursuit got 1 or 2 this year. Rare Bird got 1, and I think a couple restaurants down in Florida that were super early supporters of Woodinville.
Yeah. So again, if you're near Woodinville, Washington, and you want to find all the special Woodinville stuff, go to the distillery. Like this is a distillery on the release. Before we left, we bought 6 bottles because we knew it'd be a while before we got back up there. And so you can pick this up almost every day at the distillery. Outside of that, though, like Katie said, the picks are they're scarce.
Yeah. So I got to ask because I did sample with you guys a little bit of the cognac finish Woodinville.
Yeah.
What is the availability of that like?
It's no longer available. So they do 2 harvest releases a year.
I kind of figured. It hurts me.
And
I
we
knew that was
actually,
going to be the answer.
yeah, we actually just got one in. Let me grab it. It's Marsala wine.
Yeah.
But
So,
it was this year's. Well, let's see if it'll focus.
oh yeah, okay, cool.
But we have some friends up there that will still give us the hookup, or we bribe them to go. Tell them we'll buy them a bottle if they go for one of these harvest releases.
Yeah, and they're typically doing enough to where if you get up there day of, you can almost always get a bottle. But if you're not up there day of, then maybe.
Gotcha. That's a little bit of a drive for a bottle.
A little bit,
A
yeah.
little bit.
So Ben, real quick. So everybody in chat and Turks. So just so you guys know, I'm gonna be doing shorts, just kind of playing around with them for a little bit.
Nice.
So Ben sent me a box of stuff, as I was mentioning earlier. So I did like an unboxing video of that. That'll be a short, probably just kind of for fun. And I did a couple other things. Bobby here, he is the master of shorts. He's got like one out every day, it seems like. He's really pumping them out. But yeah, I don't like just shooting off the phone. So I don't know how I need to get with Bobby and see how he's doing. Because his look good. Like they don't look like they're shot off the phone. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be just doing shorts here and there, just kind of for fun. We'll see how you guys like them. If you guys don't like them, then I'll probably stop doing them because it's just another thing I have to edit and put out. So, but if you guys like them, then we'll keep doing them. But anyway, yeah. So that's I gotta edit it still, Ben. So earlier, Ethan, you'd mentioned Green River, so that's a video that's coming out tomorrow.
Awesome.
That's our budget bourbon bottle of the month. Is
Love it.
Green River. Yeah, good stuff. And well, you guys will see tomorrow. I won't spoil it. Anyway, yeah, so it's a good one. Both of the new Tennessee Tasters Distillery Series are 101 proof. I'm not sure why they bumped it up to that. Okay. So were they typically lower than that then?
I think the barrel strength rye. I think they all hovered
Okay.
around 100, maybe. Some might have dipped under 100.
Gotcha. It's so spicy, yeah. Hey, there's Todd. Yeah, so Todd, I don't know if you saw, because I am over 20 minutes late here. So I don't know where this correlates to what we were talking about. Yeah, we just finished sipping on this here, that I got from you guys, the Chattanooga. That's not going to focus at all. It's just completely blown out. But anyway, Chattanooga single barrel that I got for you guys. So if you're still here, Todd, thank you for that. The Turks are also got to enjoy some. So thanks, buddy. I'm going to skip down and chat because I didn't realize I was so far behind. Like on my bar, it's just like a little bit, but I guess chat's just been so active that it looks like a little bit, but I'm actually 20 minutes plus behind. So
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm pulling a cheat tonight. Sorry, guys. My precious. I'm not even getting the reference. I'm sure it was funny when you said it, Paul. I'm sure it was. I'm 23 minutes behind. So sorry, my bad.
Founders.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he probably was. Yeah, that yeah, it probably is what we were talking about. Yeah, we're talking about getting Stacy a bottle. Yeah. So let's see here. Rock on, David. Okay, good. You guys are mainly talking to yourselves, which is good because I was ignoring you. So okay, the only special Chattanooga bottle I see around here is the Iowa cask finished stuff. Wait, now, I feel like that's one of the ones that the Fancies sent me that was truly awful. Like that's their experimental stuff, and I'm almost tempted to run over there and grab it because, and I like peaty Scotch, but that thing is, I don't know what happened. Something horrible happened in that barrel. Satan lived in that barrel. I don't know. It's something awful. Just all the evil things in the world. So the Fancies having an epic collection of terrible whiskey. They have an epic collection, period. But they've also found some epically bad whiskey.
That's great.
And so there was only one thing they sent me that was worse than that, and just barely. I mean, they were neck and neck by how awful they were. And they got this Polish rye that was the light whiskey.
Oh yeah, Obtainium.
Yeah. Yeah. So an Obtainium Polish rye, and that I don't even. It's so me and Kara agreed that it tastes like. So if you ever spray DEET on yourself to keep bugs away, if you bottled that as a taste, that's what it tastes like.
Oh God,
it sounds awful.
It's very chemically and weird as hell. It's really, really bad.
Was that the night y'all tried to kill yourself with bad whiskey samples?
Yes. Yeah, we went through all the bad whiskeys we had, and they won. They clearly, they
Did
were
they win or did they lose?
Well, yeah, it depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Yeah, so they had all of the worst bottles. The top 4 were all theirs. Yeah, it's I don't know where they got these awful bottles, but I'm pretty certain that one of them was that Chattanooga, Iowa finish. Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, it's bad. It's really, really bad. It's so weird. I don't know. I've never had anything peated that's like that. So, I don't like Lafroig. That's the only peated Scotch I don't like. But it's next level. It's way beyond Lafroig.
Yeah. Lafroig's an interesting pour.
Yeah, it is. Anthony's always getting on to me because I don't like Lafroig, but they're too outside of the standard release. They're kind of too expensive to just kind of throw money at and see if you like it. Because I know I don't like the standard 10 years. So, and up from there, you're looking at usually like 90 to 100 plus. And I don't generally just throw money away like that. So,
Yeah.
Especially when there's so much great stuff available.
Right.
That's the truth.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You guys are. Yeah, I need to mark that. 7:30 in the morning.
Man, that'll be like 6:30 for us.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That's right. You're central. Yeah.
We are.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm right on the line. Like literally, I can drive to the line in 10 minutes. I can be in Central Time without trying.
That's crazy.
Like when I go hunting, I'm out in this wooded area that is technically in Eastern Time Zone, but I'm close enough to a tower that, like my phone.
Oh, your phone swaps.
Yeah, so that's annoying because I'm looking at the time and I'm like, wait a second, that can't be right. Like the sun, it's too low for it to be that early, because you have to know when hunting hours are over or else you get in trouble. So
right,
it's important that your clock is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I haven't seen the cast strength rye yet, but I will. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So oh yeah. So maybe that's what he meant, because he's also looking for a cast strength Balcones rye for me. So
I gotcha.
Either way, I'm excited though, because I'll be happy.
Take your pick.
Yeah, either one you find, I'm happy with it. What did I ignore? I think I'm just behind, Ben. I don't think I'm ignoring you.
I think you ignored everybody evenly. It's fair.
Yeah, I think I ignored everybody for like 20 minutes plus. I'm still basically 20 minutes behind. So I'm more than 20 minutes, 25. Yeah, so I'm ignoring everybody. Yeah, you know what, guys? Actually, we're just going to do this. Okay, so Nancy is amazing. So that tells me how far behind I am. So yeah, it's like all right, so guys, I'm sorry if you guys said something important. Feel free to repeat it. Sean, please hook me and John Cram. Oh, you mean okay? Yeah, I will do that. Okay, so I'm glad I saw that before I skipped down. And yes, Woodinville Funk. We'll talk about that more as we go along. Awesome, thank you, appreciate that. Everybody else do the same. I'm gonna kind of skim. Trish is here. Cheers, Trish. I hope you're still here. I'm sorry, I'm very far behind. 17 minutes ago is when you said it, but cheers to you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Enjoying a cocktail made by the fire. Awesome. Sounds good. Great hunting, Eric. Let's see here. Angel's Envy rye. Oh, okay. You're describing your cocktail. I see. I don't know what most of those things are. And a graham cracker. That's interesting.
A graham cracker.
Graham cracker rim. Toasted
Huh.
marshmallow and piece of chocolate completed the drink. Sounds good. Yeah, I don't ever make cocktails, but that sounds like a good one. Let's see here. It's delicious, leasted by more king. Well, oh, yeah. So have you guys, I guess probably not because it's Texas only. So I doubt you guys have been down there recently to get the King's Ranch.
Mm-mm.
We haven't been down to that recently. We've been hearing a lot about it though, and it makes me chuckle.
It does.
Yeah, Mesquite.
Hey,
Yeah.
Darrell, I didn't see him up in here.
Yeah. What's up, Darrell? I hope you're still here. That was 14 minutes ago. Sorry if I missed you. Maybe you'll see this in the replay or something. Anyway, cheers, buddy. Good to see you. See what else we got going on here. You at least one pour behind in chat. Fair. At least, yeah. Probably more than that. Yeah, I love the Chattanooga and Isle of Peated Scotch, but mix of the two doesn't not sound good. Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting caught up. Only 8 minutes behind. Yeah. So, yeah, it's. I really want to double check. I feel like they're right there on top. No, they're not. That's the good samples on top.
The fancy samples.
No, so I'm at the end of the year. I think I'm going to do top 10 samples that I got from everybody.
Oh,
I
nice.
think that Woodinville cognacs could probably only be in there.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's high
yeah.
praise.
Yeah. And also I'm trying to kind of pick one from each group of people that sent me stuff as well. But I mean, even that aside, like that Woodinville cognac finish is really freaking good. That's why I was asking about it, and very sad that there's no more. But that's kind of how things go.
Yeah.
Like when I got that sample from Todd of the Starlight their cognac. Oh, have you guys had that? The Starlight's
We
cognac.
got a bourbon finished in cognac from Starlight. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's
so good.
phenomenal.
And the Amarano barrels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But those are also gone, and yeah. And if
Those
you do,
still pop up though.
yeah,
We need to get
They call that their cigar blend.
yeah, that's
Cigar batch. Either way, they pop up.
What did I say? That's not the thing I said. What I said was
Amburana, yeah. Amburana is the wood they finish it in, and Starlight calls their cigar batch.
Yeah. It's very good though. To me, it's like cinnamon apple pie in bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you a sample. We actually found a pick of Oak and Eden.
Oh yeah.
But it's at 114 proof, and it's a 4-grain that's finished in Amburana.
Okay.
And it is cinnamon toast crunch all day.
It's good.
All right. I will. I know you guys have good palates, so I will trust it. I will say though that so back to the fancies and our awful bourbon tasting. One of the things that made it in there, and actually it was my worst, was the Oak and Eden toasted barrel that I have. It's not good.
Their low proof stuff is not good.
It's not.
Yeah.
And we're skeptical of everything from Oak and Eden, right? Unless we know somebody who's tried it and will vouch for it, or we try it ourselves, we are not gonna recommend it or probably even buy it, honestly.
We tried it before we bought it last weekend.
We tried it and it was like $44 a bottle. So I mean, great value at that price, and 114 proof, and it had a really good Amburana finish on it. And the base whiskey was pretty good too. Like I was very happy with it. It kind of blew me away for the total package of it.
Well, cool. Yeah. So they can do something right. That's good to hear, because like just leaving the stave in the bottle seems like an epically bad idea. Like it's only going to get worse as time goes on, because if like those bottles sit, it's not going to improve. Things will get much worse.
Well, you say that, but you got your 44-month fight for Pavitt, right? That's 44 months, man.
But that was in a real barrel. I don't know what that stave's made out of. It's not wood, and not real wood.
Like, well, most of them they are, I think. Most of them, and I don't know about specifically
this awful
Oak and Eden, but most of them that are doing those finishing staves, they're doing it from that type of wood.
So, like, if you look at the end of the stave, like it doesn't look like natural wood grain. Like it's too perfectly flat. Like it looks like pieces of wood pressed together. And it tastes like somebody put like MDF in the barrel, like in the bottle. Like it's like there's this weird chemically, it's like wood-ish, but also chemicals. It's not good.
Yeah,
and
that's not good.
The longer it stays in there, the more that's going to take over. So
yeah, we actually have to pull ours because we don't want it to change. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, we liked it the way we tried it.
Yes.
But I'm going to take a close look at that stave and see now because I'm curious.
Now, maybe not all of their staves are that way. Like maybe they're higher end bottles they use real wood. I hope so. God, I hope so. But like whatever that thing is, because like they cut it, like real wood probably wouldn't hold together in that situation. Because the way they cut that spiral, like there's very little wood in the center to hold, the whole structure together. So, and then when you add in it's soaking in whiskey, like it's not optimal, like just put a piece like an actual stave in. Like I don't know what this spiral, just don't. Anyway, I'm ranting about stupid whiskey. Yeah, but yeah, also DEET. Yeah, so if anybody's ever tasted DEET, well, like when you spray yourself where you go in the woods, do you know what it tastes like?
Should we pause for a pour?
Yeah, I'm ranting about nonsense. Let's do that.
I mean, I'm all for a good rant, but let's drink some whiskey while we do it.
Yeah, exactly? The rants will only get better. So here's what I'm going to do. So what do we want to go to next, actually?
Do you want to do Old Forester or Larceny?
So let's go Larceny because that's lower. Is this my B5? Yeah, B521. There we go. And I love this, so I hope you guys do too. I guess you guys.
I love weeded bourbon.
Have you guys had this?
Mm-mm.
Not this, not the B521.
Okay, cool. Now, how are both? So, Katie, you said you love weeded bourbon. How are you on weeders, Ethan? Some people love them, some people hate them. Some people are just kind of eh.
I like them, but I always feel like I want to like them more than I do. Right? Okay. Like I like the fruity profile of them, but they're always a little soft or almost always. Like if you get a higher age and a higher proof, then they're perfect. But a lot of them at a little bit younger and a little bit lower proof, they're just too soft that I want more to it. And I feel like that's where a high rye mash bill just has a little bit more oomph to it, right?
Yeah, and to me, Larceny is the king of at least affordable weeders.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I like Maker's Mark. I like what they're doing. But, so they're... Whoa, what am I doing? I'm pouring this like it's the last bourbon I'm sipping tonight, and it's not.
Oh, no.
We're gonna have to set that aside. That's a full ounce and a half.
That's a good size pour there.
Yeah. So we're going to have to set some of this aside. Anyway, what is this? This is, it's only 121 proof. It's not.
Oh, too easy.
Yeah.
Just knock it back real quick.
Yeah. We'll pretend we're on Livewire. Let me just say cheers to people. So I'm only moderately behind, 13 minutes now. Biking Bourbon, Gordon Murphy, Deathless Dogs. Cheers to all you great people. I'm sorry I'm so late. Also, Dustin here as well. Another guy that was at the Kentucky meetup there. Dustin gave me some. So, Dustin, if you're still here, I know that was 9 minutes ago, so my bad. But if you are still here, I have filmed so I did the Ardbeg 10, and then what did you get? You gave me the 19 and the 25. I feel like that's right. If you're still here, feel free to correct me. But so Dustin gave me some very old Ardbeg. I feel like it's a 19 and a 25 sample. So I did them as a flight, comparing the 10 to the 19 and the 25. And so I have it filmed. I just have to edit it and get it out. But that's true of a lot of things I have filmed. So, okay, so feeling better. So, yeah, because Dan didn't go last night because he was still kind of feeling under the weather. Feeling better, just really tired today. Should be back to normal tomorrow. Awesome, man. Good to hear. You send Bridal and Bit, Katie and Ethan.
He did.
Oh, okay. Not for me.
Yeah. We got a sample box from him today.
Oh, cool. I have a good contender for next round of worst bottle. Okay, awesome. I like it. You know, even though it's like not an enjoyable night whiskey wise, I always love drinking terrible whiskey just because it's fun. It's fun to do it as a group. Everybody's
Oh, for sure.
everybody's in pain the whole night.
Exactly.
Like I really need to get you guys some of that Polish rye. Like,
Oh yeah, we'll try it.
Yeah, we'll try anything once, just about.
I have some left. It's so horribly. It's one of the worst things. Like not just bourbon. It's one of the worst liquids I've ever drank. Period. It's awful. It is so awful.
That's low praise.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like it would poison you. Like it tastes like poison. It tastes like you should not drink this. Like as soon as it touches your tongue, your body's like, you should spit this out. This might kill you. Yeah, it's very, very bad. Anyway, into this larceny. You guys, I'm talking and
Yeah, we've had Polish rye blended by Barrel. Barrel rye, I think batch 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the ones that won awards over in San Fran, and we found out we were in Washington. We're like, all right, we'll give it a shot. We trust Barrel, and it's good, but it's 4 different types of rye blended.
Indiana, Canadian, Polish, and one other. And I don't know the percentages because
Tennessee.
they didn't break down the percentage on the bottle, but it's a delicious bottle.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that you guys got a good one and not anything like the thing that I tried. I'm sure if you contact the fancies, I'm sure there's a lot left available.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure they'd gladly send you some because I doubt they're going to be going back to that bottle very often. Although, it's funny. So by the end of the night, now granted, we did an 8-way blind that night. So we were many pours in. Well, kind of like what we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
So we were many pours in. And by the end of the night, after we were backstage and everything, Kara said that she actually had some kind of like affinity towards this Polish rye because of the DEET experience, because it reminded her of going hunting with her dad in the woods. So it's like some kind of nostalgia, although also maybe poisoning you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. The fancies are great too. If anybody hasn't subbed to them, they should definitely check them out.
Yes. Oh yeah, I love those girls. They're fantastic. Also very generous, like so many people on Whiskey Tube here. Just great people. Love them.
Did you see on Independent Joe? I think he dropped a video on Halloween when the fancies. He was doing a live with the fancies, a live review of something. It was pretty good. It was funny.
I didn't catch anything around Halloween time because I was in the woods a lot.
Fair enough.
I missed a lot of Whiskey Tube in the last week or so. Yeah.
The review was only like maybe 20 minutes, but it's definitely worth a look because they were dressed up in their Halloween costumes. It was good.
Okay, I'll have to go back and check that out. I'm very interested how a bourbon guy reacts to a super old Isla. Yeah, so Gordon, I don't want to spoil anything, but and again, Dustin, correct me if I'm wrong, but so I believe that the 25 is actually from the old stuff before Ardbeg like changed over how they were doing things. Dustin, I'm sure, can explain it much better than I am. Can't recall if there was anything else I poured or not. Oh well, yeah. So Dustin, you did send me other samples. I can't remember what they are either, but I haven't got to those yet. I filmed the Ardbeg flight, so that's what I've drank so far. Excuse me. But I have not got. You did send me some other stuff that was also interesting. I just haven't got there yet. So, because I try to film the samples that I get, although that's not really working out great because I have a lot of samples to get through. But yeah, anyway. But mainly just because I want to give credit to the folks that share because I think that's important. So.
Yeah, that series you do is really nice. Like when you just do like have a drink with me, like it's a perfect series.
Yeah, I mean, because like we've kind of been talking about all night, Whiskey Tube is just there's so many great people and they're all very generous, and so I love to give folks credit that are generous, because all you guys are so awesome sharing. I mean, like this night is all because of that, all because people being generous and sharing the whiskey they have. So yeah, then that's what makes Whiskey Tube awesome.
Oh yeah,
Always phenomenal people. So what are you guys thinking about the Larceny B521?
it's definitely Heaven Hill profile. Like, as far as it has that almost peanut to me, but
On the finish.
on the finish, peanut, but fruity as well.
Yeah, the nose for me, I wasn't picking up that much at first. It was like sweet and dark and a little bit of proof, but that was about it. But man, the palate, oof, that's good. It's man, it's got a finish that keeps going too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, good hug. Wow.
Yeah, this was one of my favorites last year. I really love this bottle. This is actually my third one. That's how much I.
Wow, that's nice that you were able to like find them.
Sometimes
they're harder to come by.
I feel like actually when I sampled it out, it was actually the last bottle, which was my second one that I actually sent the samples from. But I'm sure because they're batched, I'm sure they're basically identical.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this is because it seems like when I sent you guys that sample, it was down into here. So, it had a little more air in it than this one does. But still, yeah, I love it. It's good stuff. Yeah, it's one of my favorite weeders. I mean, still. So, I mean, I think that I like the B522. I don't know if you guys have gotten a hold of that.
We have.
We've found multiple of those.
Somebody shared a sample with us. Kelsey Dime actually shared a sample with us when he came over to the house back over the summer and was like, "You got to try this," and it was just mind blowing, like how good it was.
Yeah. So I've only had the neck pour on mine, so I'm hoping it'll open up. But Ethan, you were going to say something.
I was just taking a deep breath, man. The finish, wow.
Yeah. It goes, man. It just keeps going,
man.
And that's really important to me. A bourbon have not just a long finish, but a good one, and I love the finish on this. And also, I mean, the palate is nice, as you were saying, Katie. So it kind of gets nutty on the back of the palate, but then up front, it's very fruity and sweet. And then the finish is just, I love it. Let's go again here.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting. Go ahead.
I was supposed to set this aside. I've about drank most of it, but
I don't blame you, man. The interesting thing for me on this pour is like, up front it's so fruity, and there's some like it's a mix too. Like there's some light fruit, there's some dark fruit, and then in the middle I get this big wheat punch, like grain punch, and it makes me laugh because that's the same punch that on the regular Larceny comes off grassy. And it drives me bonkers. I hate that on the regular Larceny. But here, in the midst of all these other great flavors, it's like an interesting note in the middle, right? Versus just a turnoff.
Yeah, so for me, the difference is Makers kind of has their own thing there, but for it kind of gets sometimes like a medicinal cherry, kind of that mid, and not always. Like for instance, the FAE-02, like that's dark enough that it doesn't. To me, it's more of like a black cherry kind of note instead of like the medicinal kind of NyQuil that I don't like from Makers. So like Makers can go either one way or the other for me. Like I can love it because it's they've got enough wood influence that it doesn't have that, or it can be brighter on that kind of medicinal side, and then I'm not a fan. So, but Larceny's, I haven't had a Larceny barrel proof that I can say I hated. There was just some that were not as good as other, and I kind of feel the same way about ECBPs. There's just some that stand out more than others, but none that I ever dislike for the price.
Agree.
Well, in some of the early on Larcenys, like the A120 and the B520, they're really good, but they didn't have that weeded bourbon note that you like, that characteristic that you were looking for. It didn't taste like a weeded to me.
Right.
It had a whole bunch of Heaven Hill like funk in it. But now they're coming into that. Like the last couple releases have really been surprising how well they are.
Yeah. I think, of course, I haven't had the C yet. So C last year was good, but I think the B was my favorite. And then, I think B this year might be my favorite, although not having had the C yet because I haven't seen them. So maybe C will be amazing, but I'm really liking the B522. So for those of you that are seeing it on the shelf, I think it's worth a pickup.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. The reason we have so many of the B522, so we tried it with Kelsey Dime, and we liked it, but it was a one-off sample. I think I kind of forgot about it, and then we hung out with Darrell a few times, virtually and in person, and he kept on talking about it, and it like made me think back to how good it was. And every time I was like, all right, so I'm keeping my eye out. And so I think we ended up we found 2 or 3 of them in our travels.
We found one in our travels, and then a friend of ours in Washington, because in Washington, apparently they're readily available. They sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
And he found it for like $63, including Washington state tax, which was crazy, right? Because I think Ethan paid maybe a little over retail. He might have paid $70 for it when we saw it in Kentucky.
Oh, that's still a great price.
But it's still a great price.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining by any means, but $63. I'll take another bottle, sure.
Yeah, I mean, because so like the Makers private selects, they're usually like 65, 70 now. So that's very comparable.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a great price for a Larceny.
Well, the Maker, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
I was gonna say, when we were in Washington, like Makers private selects were some of my favorites, but with tax, like them being $65, $70, some $75, then you add 23% on for liquor tax. You're talking, it's almost a $90 bottle at that point.
Yeah, it was.
And it was like, it was hard to stomach some of those.
And unless you get to try before you buy, like some of the picks are great, and then some are just kind of So
I love that you said that. So there's a steakhouse. I think it's just a Washington thing called John Howie.
Okay.
Maybe it's Northwest, maybe it's just Washington. I don't know, but they're big in the Seattle area. Well, they are big enough that they do a couple of Makers picks a year, right? Well, I think it was their number 5 pick. Their wives wanted to go do a pick. The 2 owners of John Howie's, and Katie was super excited about when she heard about it. She's like, "Ooh, I want it!" We ended up finding the bottle at a local store like a year later. She tried it, hates it.
I absolutely hate that thing. It is garbage.
So where is it?
I'm so mad.
Like I got this pick just only on the name alone. If I can get it, Can't Stop the Beaver. That's a hilarious name to me.
That's great.
But honestly, the pick itself is just kind of like it's okay. There's some weird notes in it though that I don't find in many Makers picks. So I guess on uniqueness, it's interesting, but it's not my favorite. Now on the other side of that, I have the Blind Speaks that Master Journey did, and that's a really great pick.
Yep.
So Makers can be amazing for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely a try before you buy on the picks.
That'd be nice. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not a thing in Kentucky usually. So very rarely do I get to try a pick before I buy it, unless it's like a small local store. Then sometimes they'll let you. But like the big stores, which is where most of the picks usually are. Generally, it's just gotta kind of roll the dice.
And that's unfortunate because I know like Liquor Barn has their little bar, and some of them where you can try, if they have their picks open, you can buy their pour, and their prices aren't bad. They're not bad at all.
Their prices are great.
But like in Tennessee, like you can walk up and say, "Can I try this?" And they're like, "Sure." They pour you a little bit, and you move on, or you buy the bottle. And I mean, we've bought more picks from one store here recently just because you can try them.
Yeah,
they're worth it.
Yeah, Liquor Barn though, we had a great time. One of the first nights of our trip, we were before on our way out. Basically, there's a Liquor Barn there at 265 and 65, just outside of Louisville,
Okay.
And apparently we were chatting up one of the guys there, and that's like the beer liquor barn. We didn't realize they had some good stuff, good bourbon too. But they had their pours were well priced. Like their picks were all $4 or $5 a pour, and they were solid 2-ounce pours. Like I was super happy with their kind of stuff. And like that's something that I am perfectly happy to try before I buy, right? Sure,
Yeah.
give me a 1.5 or 2-ounce pour for $5. Like even if I don't like it, it's whiskey. It's fine.
Yeah. And it's still a 2-ounce pour for $5, regardless of what.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
In most bars, you couldn't get like Evan Williams for that. So
Yep. You're right.
I mean Black Label, not white.
Right. I'm with you. I love me some Black Label, but paying $8 for it hurts.
Yeah, exactly. So of course, I guess you guys still have a little bit of larceny. I'm just going to work on the tape on the next one.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Which one are you untaping?
So I can do either one, either Petite Syrah or the Chardonnay, whichever way.
Maybe we should do your last one before we go to finishes.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Because the proof on these is lower, but I'm just thinking the finishes might be a little strange jumping back and forth.
Okay, well, I will warn then that this Old Forester drinks hot as hell. It's
okay.
It's a spicy gal, and like it drinks. What, of course, now maybe this has settled down and it's had a lot of air in it, so that's helped. I don't know when I gave this to you guys. I don't know where it was in the bottle, but yeah. So it's hot. I don't know if Paul Biking Bourbon is still here, but he's got a bunch of them, and he thinks that because he's had similar picks, I guess, and so he thinks I just didn't get a great pick. Which this was picked by Kroger, so I don't know who their picking guy is.
Sometimes those Kroger picks have been like really solid, though, especially in the Kentucky area.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. It's just it's really hot for 130 proof.
Yeah,
Man, that's one thing that likes to pop up in those Old Forester picks, right? They like to become jet fuel. And there for a while, like it was a certain 6-month time frame where you had to be really careful about what you got of those picks. But I feel like the past year they've calmed down and they're a lot less hot. Even some of the hot ones were really good flavor, right? But it was like some of those 2020 batches of ECPP. They were just fire. Like they would burn the piss out of you if you weren't careful.
Right. Yeah. So this one is about, I'm trying to think when I got this. 8 or 9 months old, I guess now. And I just kind of, what it is, I got past the neck pour down into the shoulder, and I just kind of let it sit.
Okay.
And then it did improve immensely. That neck pour was whoa. Like, I mean, I've had some Jack Daniel's single barrel proofs that were really hot, but this was next level hot. Like, and I mean, I love cast strength stuff, but it was hot, like well above its proof point.
Dragon breath.
Yeah. I mean, so, I have an old Dragon Bones down there, not nearly as hot as this. I mean, of course, wow. I haven't had this in a while, so.
We need to send you some of the Mesh and Journey brain candy.
Oh, gosh.
From Obtainium. It is hot.
156 proof, I think.
Yeah, this has calmed down a lot. It's still pretty spicy, but it's air has helped this tremendously. Unfortunately, I don't know if your sample has gotten that help.
The nose is not crazy hot to me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, see, I don't remember when I sent this to you guys, so
it's like bananas Foster.
Yeah.
There's that banana.
Or a banana bread.
Oh yeah, that's not that's not Old Forester hot at all. There's some heat on the back end, but
yeah, I think air has helped this a lot. It's not.
I believe it.
It's not like the neck pour. The neck pour of this was like, so here's how bad it was. So my neighbor right behind me here, he is an Old Forester fan. And so I was at Kroger, saw these, and he's like, grab me one. And so we get home and we pop mine, and he's like, you want my bottle?
Wow.
He was not happy with it at all. And I wasn't either. So I was like, nah. And now I do have his bottle, but
Nice.
yeah, yeah,
No, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, this is good.
It is a little hot on the back end, but it's like a banana bread.
yeah. I mean, it's very Old Forester. Like you would not mistake it for anything else.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and it's hot on the back end, but I think it feels hotter than it actually is because for me, I get proof, but the rye spice is lingering on the sides and the back of my tongue
Mm-hmm.
for what am I, 45 seconds out of the pour now, and it's still right there. And so I think it's a case of like rye spice and proof kind of mixing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of lingering spice on the finish.
So are you going to get to try the King Ranch?
Do you
So-
want to try the King Ranch?
So I think Mark, Mr. Great, I think he's going to send me a sample of it when he sends all the bottles out.
Nice.
So let me get to this real quick from Dustin.
Yeah,
So
do it.
the Ardbeg 25 was before they closed down and used the old stills. They were cast Ardbeg, sold to Chivas, and then bought back by Ardbeg. Yeah, so the 25 totally different than the 19. I was surprised how different it was. So especially the finish on the 25, there's like this oiliness that, and not just from the age, but I mean it's a totally different finish than the 19. Like I almost didn't recognize it as an Ardbeg. Like the 19 just tasted like an older version of the 10. But like the 25 is a very different palate. So
Yeah.
but very cool for sharing that, Dustin. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's super unique to be able to try that.
Yeah, I would say there's probably not a lot of those out there. So, and also should be noted, again, generous people there. It's a $1,500 bottle. So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for the sample, Dustin. Yeah.
So we just want to say cheers to the new people who've popped in, right? I'm seeing
Oh yeah. Let me,
Big Vic, Richie Z,
Dusty Dan.
Dusty Dan. There was another person that I
Top
went
Dog.
to call out. So Top Dog, of course. There's another
And,
person, Adam. There you go.
Yeah. Shit. Hopefully you're still here and you're seeing me. Cheers, you. Cheers, people. And cheers, Vic. Well, that didn't really. There we go. Now it highlighted it. Top
Oh, and
Dog.
Chris.
James Taylor. You bastards. What's up, James? Good to see you, man. Who else here?
Chris Tats joined in.
Yeah, Chris.
Z. Yeah, I'm scrolling. I'm trying to. I'm just scrolling down to the bottom, guys, so I can finally get caught up. For at least part of the stream will be caught up. I've missed most of it. 2020 ECBP was great. Most of the old Forester picks I've had, not so much. Yeah, this one. So while we're on it, so what do you guys think all around? So this is like $80, I think.
I mean, I would pay 80 for it.
Yeah. I've definitely had picks that knocked my socks off more than this does. But even like in the old Forester realm, but this is a really good, like middle of the road. This is like, you could put this on a pedestal as this is what old Forester should be.
Yeah. And the air has helped this tremendously. It's much better now than it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had sent you the neck pour, you wouldn't have been as happy. Like it was just like, it was a little bit ethanol forward. So air has helped a lot. Actually, I think this was now after I sent you the sample, should be mentioned. This was a bottle I chugged on Livewire some months ago. It was like everybody was just chugging barrel proofs, and this one was handy. So, but after I sent the samples, so don't worry. Although I would imagine 130 proof probably kills anything, but still.
Yeah, and I'm sure it burned when you chugged it.
It did, and it was it's always less enjoyable when you chug, but 48 14-year MGP bottle smells like no alcohol, drinks like fire.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That was a great bottle.
There's Chris, the Rat Pack leader. Still a shirt I need to make probably. Good Saturday afternoon. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're in the future. Chris, so I'm sure Lil already mentioned it to you. If not, so the turkey video is out. Put it out Wednesday. Thank you again, man. Awesome to get that sample. I still have a tiny bit left. The Wild Turkey 13 year. Some good stuff. I mean, I wish the proof were higher, but can't really complain for a 13-year product. It was still really awesome. So in that video, I kind of compared it to like Eagle Rare and Russell's 10. Similar age statements, not quite the same. And I think the big difference for me was that on both of those, I can get some medicinal notes depending on the barrel of Russell's or depending on the bottle of, which is still barrel kind of with Eagle Rare. It's not quite a single barrel, but they're sort of ish. I guess they're still doing that, right? Where they just run a barrel out and then they just put the next one on the line. So they're not cleaning the lines with Eagle Rare. So it there is some crossover, but it's still kind of single barrels.
Yeah.
Sort of. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but the Turkey 13 it's good stuff. Really good. I wish it was available here.
Was that the mother and son?
No, so this is the Japanese release.
Okay.
Yeah, but down in Australia they get some of that. I guess there's somehow that they get some as well. Yeah, so good on them. And also they're like, I guess what I'm really envious of, they're getting the 101 12 year. I want it bad.
We got you.
Isn't that a Japanese only?
We got you.
Okay.
We only got one bottle, but we can definitely get you some.
Okay. We'll talk after.
We'll talk after, but we got you.
I know it's going to cost way more than it should, but I have to own one. So, all right, we'll talk.
We'll get you some samples of it. Like we said, we have one bottle of it.
Yeah.
Haven't cracked it
No,
yet.
I don't want to buy your bottle. I'm just
I understand.
I want to talk about your sources afterwards. But yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Dusty Dan, what's up, man? Yeah. Cheers, Betty. Good to see you. You got some great people hanging out with me here. Do we want to bring some people on to hang out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
Let me drop the link because there's a lot of cool people in chat here.
Absolutely.
See here. Let me do that. And Ben, if you're still here, you can bitch at me later for running over. My apologies. But
we apologize, Ben. Or just join us for right now.
Just join us for a bit.
But real quick, folks, before I replace the pin, if you have not yet, please go subscribe to Drifting Drams, the Turks here. Their link should be at the top of chat. So before I replace the pin, do that. And then we'll replace the pin. Although it's already in chat, the StreamYard link, if you want to hop in. But I'll okay. Well, we already got somebody.
And Chris,
Barbarian, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
Greetings.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see all of you. This has been a good night so far.
Chris is trying to get you some wild turkey, Sean.
Oh yeah, I see that. I'm just I'd love to have that. I'm curious what it would actually cost to get it here. That's
me too.
But man, I mean, I'd love to have a Turkey 13. Like I would proudly display that like right over my left shoulder here.
Me too. The empty bottle would be right back here.
Yeah, I'd love to have that. Just that's I was surprised by how much flavor it had for a 91 proof whiskey. Like it's so viscous and mouth coating and just tons of flavor.
Those are great bottles, man. Whenever they hit so far above their proof point, right?
Yeah.
When you try them and you're like, oh my God, and you just like sit there looking at the glass. You're like, oh crap.
Yeah. That's what makes it dangerous. Is that I know if I own one, I'd go through it really quick because it's low proof, so you can drink a lot of it, and then I'd be sad when it would disappeared.
You'd have to stash some, pour it off into sample bottles, and put it like back somewhere.
Yeah, hide it from myself.
But actually, I couldn't hide it from myself. I'd have to get somebody to come in and do that for me.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. I don't blame you.
So if you're into ryes, I'm going to recommend one. This is
Okay.
This is Buzzard's Roost cigar rye.
Yep.
This might be right up there. Might be right up there with Midwinter's Night's Dram.
Oh, cool, man.
I'm not kidding you. It's just got so much of that Christmas flavor up front, and then there's caramel, and there's some brown sugar, and it's almost like a creme brulee at the end. It's amazing.
You got a whole box of stuff there, man.
I went today. I went hunting, and I got this.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, the glow in the dark Halloween edition. Cool.
Got the glow in the dark, but better yet, I got its bigger brother.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that the uncut unfiltered or the younger?
This is uncut unfiltered. This is batch 159A.
That's right. The younger is a different bottle, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I got High West Campfire that I'm not sure about yet.
I like it. Like a lot of people don't. A lot of people crap on it, but I like it.
I don't dislike it. I just think they might have been able to find another way to smoke without the scotch, but it's not heavy scotch. And then I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
This is Holiday Toast. I've never had this. Specs in El Paso just started carrying this today. They literally just put this on the shelf this morning. So
me and Jacob, we saw some of those in Kentucky here recently. If you don't mind sharing, Eric, what was your price on that?
It was 73, and that was that was the per bottle case price. But because and then I also got 5% off because I'm a veteran. So, but this is it was a good day. It was a really good day. I'm gonna do that holiday toast here in a little bit.
So Vic, I know this was 7 minutes ago, but I don't care why you come on, man. Just come on, hop on with us, man.
Yeah, Vic needs to come on.
Yeah, come on, man. So Eric, that cigar rye, that's awesome stuff. We had heard about it, but we hadn't tried it. And then we were up in Rhode Island, and Darrell Stewart, right, the whiskey saint.
Yes.
He poured us some.
Yeah.
And he was telling us what makes it their cigar rye. They actually take tobacco leaves and burn them inside of the barrel.
Right. Yeah, they do it. It's got a number one char, but before they do the number one char, they smoke it with cigar leaves.
Yep.
So they put a cigar smoke in there, and then they do a number one char on the barrel that they age it in. And I'm telling you, this really is very close to Midwinter's Night's Dram. It has a lot of the same notes, the holiday notes, the stuff you want to drink when it's cold outside and you want something to warm you up. It was Darrell and Whack on Live Wire Whiskey on Sunday. I told him I got the Buzzard's Roost, just the regular straight bourbon whiskey that's the cask strength. And Whack is all, you got to go get. He said if you can find it, you got to go get it. Well, I found it. There's 4 more bottles, and I found out they only made 3 barrels of this. So I think I may go deplete the shelves tomorrow because I would hate for this to run out, and I'm not going to get any of the Midwinter's Night's Dram stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, cheers, buddy. Good to see you, man. No problem that you're. Hey, well, there he is. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey,
cheers,
Jacob.
man.
Hey, cheers, man.
So to answer your question, I saw it because I already scrolled down. I did pop the bottle, but I got a little bit left here.
Oh, nice.
So
mine is still closed, so that's what I was gonna do tonight was pop it.
let's get into it, man.
Sorry, my video is not that great tonight. I didn't get a chance to set up really. Eric, nice haul on everything, man. That was freaking awesome. I've been looking for that Buzzard's Roost. That one in particular, I was looking all over Kentucky for that one.
Kelly's Liquors have them. Kelly's Liquors down here in Cruces have them. So go look in Albuquerque and see if you can't find one.
And Chris, we will definitely talk, my friend. We're definitely gonna have to talk about some turkey. Let's see here. Where are we at? I'm trying to get caught up, folks. I'm almost there. I am 7 minutes behind. Didn't like the recent. Yeah, so it's improving. I'm nearly there.
I feel like at this point, if you catch up, then the world might explode.
It's true. Yeah. I've been epically behind all night. Okay, so 125. So it's about 75, 75. Oh, okay.
Man, this is such a beautiful poem.
That's very doable. I could definitely do that, Chris. Yeah. We'll talk more. Yeah, I think that needs to happen. I'm gonna get whiskey from across the globe. Amazing.
Heck yeah.
If you want the good stuff, you do.
About $80. That's not a bad price at all.
Yeah, I would gladly.
13-year wild turkey for $80. Sign me up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I guess the campfire bottles vary, but I really like mine. So mine's the old label. Here it is.
Mine's the new.
Yeah. It's kind of focusing. There we go.
And I don't dislike it. I'm just trying to figure out something's funky about it. I don't dislike it. I mean, I'm gonna drink it.
Oh, it's funky. There's no doubt about that. I like funky though.
Well, so do I. That's why you and I drink Balcones.
Hell yes. Although so you and Jacob both messaged me within 20 minutes of each other about the Diageo buyout. Like, I was so upset.
I went to Specs today in El Paso, specifically looking for the cask strength Texas rye. They didn't have any. I've never tried it. I actually found a place online. I already ordered it. It'll be in next week. I've got to try the cask strength. I've heard it's really good.
It is very good. The Fancies sent me a sample. There they are. There's the Fancies. Oh, yeah, they sent me like a whole Balcones flight of picks. So that rye is it's so good. It's like it's Balcones as soon as you drink it because it has that Balcones funk, which I love.
So do I.
So freaking good.
You're gonna like that True Blue cask strength, man. That stuff is incredible. I just got a huge sample bring in too from the Fancies too. Cheers.
I almost bought the
is that the pour there, Jacob?
What's that?
Is that the pour there, Jacob?
That is the pour. I had to be careful because I already started rubbing off the signature on the bottle, messing with it.
Mine too. It's just barely on there. So now let's see if I can get this right. So Ethan, for Cullen, right? That's
for Cullen.
Yeah,
for Cullen. I was closer than the first time.
Yeah, the other one I almost bought today is they had the Balcones High Plains Texas single malt cask strength. I'll probably go back and get that another day. And that was a Specs pick.
Even after all this cask strength stuff, and we just came off a pretty hot Old Forester, this stuff is still fantastic. I'm gonna get you guys some.
So how has it opened?
Oh, you're popping Balcones.
Is that
just 100 proof rye?
I like the 100 proof. It's got such a chocolatey mint flavor to it. I love it.
Wow, that's so Eric. That's spot on. Like this is chocolate mint.
Yes, it's a chocolate mint. It's like the green ice cream with the chocolate chips in it. I mean, that's how good this is.
And we'd heard people trash this bottle, and so that's one of the reasons it's just been sitting.
You know,
Yes,
I mean, it's different because it sits in the Texas heat, so it's got a lot more wood to it. It's got a lot more wood funk to it, but it's not
I
bad.
expect that from Texas.
Here is my thought on Texas in general. I think that people are used to very soft palates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such as Buffalo Trace, a lot of Buffalo Trace stuff. And so when they have a Texas, oh, here we go. What's up, Adam? How we doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going, Adam?
So when they go from that to a Texas bourbon, it like they don't know what their palate doesn't know what to do with it. Like
I agree.
It's like the polar opposite of a Buffalo Trace product.
But what I try to tell people is, if Texas whiskey wasn't good, Nancy Fraley wouldn't be down here blending it, and she is. So she knows something, and that's such a it's unusual, but boy, it's a chocolatey minty bomb.
And apparently Diageo knows something too, which is unfortunate. But
if they wouldn't spend all that money on it, right?
Well, if they just infuse the distillery with more money and leave it alone, it would be fine.
Let them do what they're doing and just give them more money.
Maybe Texas will get their own Game of Thrones edition now.
Yeah.
So Adam, what are you sipping on, man?
We got a barrel proof rye. It's MGP juice. It's a local Clearwater.
Here, let me solo you there.
So this is the second batch they did, and it's 115 proof. I literally just cracked it a little bit ago.
I think I may have seen that today at Specs. It looks familiar, maybe not.
Pretty damn good.
Also, Nick Proman. Cheers, buddy.
I don't know if they distribute much.
So, Turks, what do y'all think of that?
I'm wrapping my head around it.
Yeah.
It's definitely funky.
Oh yeah.
I love the funk. So while you guys get into that, because you guys can drink this anytime, I'm going to get into your Woodinville bourbon finish in Petite Syrah cast. So
we have multiple glasses.
There we go.
It can multiple glasses for multiple tasking.
That's it.
And if we run out of glasses, there's more behind us.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, you can see them all hanging right there.
Yeah, I've got
I need
three here right now.
Like that in arm's reach.
It's always fun when you get 3 or 4 going at once, and then you realize, shit, I got to finish all these.
Yeah.
You know what? Still living in the woods, you're absolutely right. Texas whiskey is for people who drink their coffee black.
Hell yes.
See, and that might be where I have a little bit of a hang up because I am a coffee sissy. I will admit that.
No, so now I won't drink like McDonald's coffee black or fast food coffee in general black, but I mean like a good quality coffee black is the only way to drink it.
Yes, sir.
So I want to taste it black when it's a good coffee, absolutely. But for me, and I know it's so weird, my buddies have given me endless amounts of shit over this. Black coffee for me, especially like a good coffee, it's usually pretty acidic. I get like a tomato, like a meat sauce note off of it. That is just,
wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Something's broken on my palate when it comes to black coffee.
Well,
I can't do it.
It may not be broken. A lot of people, black coffee shouldn't be brewed at like above about 170 degrees.
Exactly. That's what makes it acidic.
And the problem is, too many places their black coffee, they put it into a pot and they brew it at 175 to 190 degrees, and that's what pulls all of that acidic flavor out.
Gotcha.
You really have to, like, when I have really good coffee, I boil my water by itself, and I actually use my thermometer, and when it gets to 170, I'm done.
Yeah, so my brother-in-law is Italian, and so my sister bought him a professional coffee maker, like that baristas have, and so that's about the only place I drink coffee, because I rarely drink coffee. I don't need it in the morning. I wake up fine, and so when I go there, I always have a cup of coffee because it's just it's right. It's the way, as Chris is pointing out, because we have a lot of really crappy coffee here. But yeah, so that because it's even though there's no cream added, there's like a creaminess to it.
Right.
It's not thin.
It's the crema. It's called crema. The end of it when it brews out, it's got that thin layer of foam on it that's thick and rich and delicious.
And it doesn't need anything. It's just it's so awesome. And you get those like a good quality coffee. You get those notes in Balcones, which is why I love it.
I keep watching the Turks, and it's like they're in a pond that they know's 32 degrees, and they need to jump in, but they won't.
Fancy, is this Chris or Kara? We need to have a talk, ladies. Our Balcones Rye tastes like number 2
pencil. That's a good note.
Why would you do that to anybody?
I disagree.
I do too. Tastes like chocolate mint.
Now you're gonna make me get your pick because
Dark
I have
chocolate
it.
mint.
Right there.
All I ever hear, like people love it or hate it. That's all I hear. Like I don't hear any it's okay. I just hear this is awesome or this is
there's no fence sitters on Balcones Rye. None at all.
Not bad.
Okay, so Turks, I'm just a Kentucky boy. What the heck is Petite Syrah?
So it's another a fancy person would say it's a varietal grape. It's just a type of grape that literally is a smaller grape.
Okay.
Smaller version of a Syrah grape. Yeah. So a red wine.
So it is red.
Australia, I think it's Shiraz.
It's a very dark when it grows on the vine. It's a very dark purple. They're not very small, but they're smaller than a lot of the other. Like they're much smaller than normal Syrah.
Yeah. Are smaller grapes more flavorful?
They have more sugar per pound.
They're more potent.
More potent.
Yeah, they're more potent. More sugar per pound.
More flavor
than the larger ones. Right.
Flavor. Yeah.
So I'm not getting red wine influence though. I'm getting more like white wine flavors. Maybe it's just me. Of course, I've had a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of things tonight as well. So there's possibly that my palate's just completely blown out.
But the cool thing is they may have aged that in drier barrels. I mean, a lot of people who age in wine barrels, there can be as much as 2 gallons of wine left in the bottom, which I think sort of is too much. I don't think there should be any standing liquid at all. I think they should pour everything out, and then if it's damp, go ahead and put your bourbon in. But I'd actually rather they let it dry a little more.
All right, so that's what the fancy's talking about. So yeah, your pick is so good, sugary coffee, exactly. It's good stuff. Not
the Woodinville. Are you sure you opened the right bottle? You didn't have issues opening the other bottle and give up?
No. Let me tell you, folks.
Did you sprain your little fingers trying to open up the teeny bottles?
Look at this. So there's got to be a 1/4 inch of tape on there. There's zero chance this will never leak. You could throw it down a hill. The glass might break. This top is never coming off.
I don't remember who sent me some bottles, but they sent them wrapped in Teflon tape, and I thought that was the best idea ever.
Next time I send them, Sean, I won't tape them. I might even put lids on them.
No, Katie, I appreciate your diligence in making sure the samples got here safely. It just slows me down a little bit, especially after some beverages.
Well, and I think that's the fun part, right?
Yeah.
Can you open the whiskey?
Can you get to the whiskey or not? Yeah. So I guess it's reminding me a little bit of a sherry finish. It's not quite that, but there's some similarities there.
Yeah, so for me, I get a lot of silkiness, right? The mouthfeel on this one is that's one of the reasons I like this one so much. It's lights out on mouthfeel for me. And then I get grape skins, earthy, a little bit musty, that's the red wine influence I get off of this.
So I like more of that. that deep red, like kind of dry, like a non-sweet grape jelly, kind of, like more like that. This has a little bit of that sourness, like the grape skins, like the skins themselves. That's kind of the sour. And it's okay. But like I said, that kind of reminds me, it's not quite a sherry finish. It's not as sour as that. To me, like a sherry finish to me is very sour. That's why I don't like sherry finished scotches. I prefer peat. Like I don't like sour notes in bourbon. So this is not as bad as a sherry finish, but it's kind of heading that direction. Now, on the other hand, again, that cognac, I would give large amounts of money to get a bottle of that, because that Woodinville cognac finish is it's so good.
So this is my first ever in my entire life pour of uncut, unfiltered. I've never had this.
Oh
wow!
Never in my life.
I
haven't poured it yet.
What's the batch? Eric? Is it one of the newer batches?
Yeah, it's 159.
All right. Well, so Eric, I will have my second pour ever with you, even though I shouldn't, because I have a lot more whiskey to drink. We're gonna see how far we can go
this
here.
This cork is loose. Wow. Oh, I'm gonna have to find another cork for you.
I had an ECBP last year that was that way. I mean, like I almost dropped the bottle because the cork was so loose.
Just use some electrical tape.
Yeah, whistle tape. Yeah, those just fall out. They're just kind of sitting there.
Fall out.
I have so many inappropriate things to say.
Where's the moose at? We need some Canadian.
He's at the slammering.
Yeah, he's at the slammering.
I was over
they
there
were live streaming that earlier, weren't they? The slammering.
Yeah,
they were. Still?
I don't know if they still are. They were earlier.
I didn't get to check. I just kind of saw the thumbnail on there, but.
This top is never coming off. Said no stripper ever.
Now I know who this is. That's got to be Chris, because Kara would say that. I love you, Chris. Okay, I thought
those tops come off for the drop of a nickel.
So again, I don't know anything about wine. I just drink it. So kind of like how I'm bad at blinds with whiskey. So wood thing, I thought Syrah is a red wine like Shiraz.
Yeah, okay.
It is.
All right, so that makes sense, because I'm not a fan of Shiraz, whatever the thing is.
Man, that wine stuff is way beyond me. I just know. I know
it comes from grapes, and it's fermented grapes. That's the level of knowledge I have on wine. I know what I like to drink. I know that. So
as a teenager, my parents were really into wine. My parents' house has a basement, which is unusual for New Mexico, and they had a wine collection that was insured at about $250,000. And we used to actually have Psalms come to the house and teach us about different wines. My parents were just like really into that, and they thought their kids needed to know about it. On the night before I graduated high school, I had two friends over, and he said, if you guys don't go anywhere, you can drink some wine. So we drank some wine, and when my dad woke up the next morning, he's all, I need to tell you which wines you can drink. I said, why? He said, you guys drank $2,700 worth of wine last night. And I said, I apologize. He said, no, I taught you how to drink wine. I should have just said, leave some of these alone.
Go. So Eric, I have batch 132. So what are your thoughts on your batch?
It's really light on the nose. It's really hard to get.
Eric, do you get like a fruity note on that one? I think I have is that the 152 batch I have. I actually got like bananas on it, and I think Scott from Fifth Quarter.
What I'm getting on this is apricots.
Apricots, yeah. I got like
I'm getting like an apricot.
like maybe a hint of citrus on there, but like mine was,
apricots and oranges.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty similar to my batch, even though I'm many batches ahead of yours. But yeah, it seems like
I thought it was quite odd for an MGP to come out like that. I've never had an MGP that will.
I imagine it's the barrels that are
like
aged in.
Really like fruit forward.
Oh, ooh, grapes, dark grapes. Oh, that's really good. Wow.
I thought you were turning into Todd from 21090 there for a second.
No.
Dude, so Sean,
I'd have to starve myself for a year to turn into Todd. I'd have to shave my head and starve to death.
What did you think Todd. Of your bottle pop of the Fricolan?
I loved it, man. And so I had that was my first pour of the night. And then I had a little bit more with you there, and even still, after coming off many barrel proofs, it still stands up. Like it's still, it doesn't feel thin.
It has a super long finish. That's why I picked it over the Disco 8 and 9 when we tried it out there at Bartspawn. I was like, it just had a phenomenal finish. I think this one might kick the old Dragon Bones out for my number one spot this year.
Which one will?
The Fricolan.
Let me still with myself for half a second here.
Man, Specs had every single Bardstown. They had that one. They had what's the other one? The Labad. They had the Labad. Well, I guess I didn't.
They can't have this.
They might not have that one.
Proof on that?
They might not have had that one, but they had a bunch of them.
102.4.
Yeah, so the proof is low, but
and it's that complex. Like it.
So it's a combination of 17-year-old Tennessee, and then 2 different 12-year-old Kentuckys, and then a 21-year-old Irish. Which is an interesting blend, but it works so well.
Sounds wild, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is super complex. Has a super long finish on it. There are so many different flavors. I can pull, the flavors from the Tennessee whiskey. I can pull the Kentucky whiskey out of there, and then the Irish mixes in there so well with all of them. It's incredible.
So Turk, circling back to you, do we have any more thoughts on that Balcones rye now that you're getting a little more into it?
So I'll go first because I feel like I'm more positive on it than Katie is.
Okay, that's fair.
But neither of them are really positive.
Well, no, for me, it's an interesting pour, right? It's like if you were making hot chocolate, but you spilled too much cocoa powder in.
Yeah, the dark unsweetened cocoa powder.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Like cacao, yeah.
Overwhelming for me on this.
Okay,
but the nose has like a musty wood funk. It's a little off-putting.
Yeah.
Do you get the mint though? Like after it clears after the liquid clears, do you get the mint behind the chocolate?
So I got the mint on the nose off the bottle crack, but I'm not getting the mint now. I'm gonna go back in for a second sip.
Maybe it'll open up a little like that Texas funk from the Balcones. I think Balcones has it more than some of the other ones. I have the Iron Root Harbinger has a little bit of the funk, but not like the Balcones. And I'll tell you, the lineage is the one that has the most out of all of them. I still don't know what to think of that one. That one has all kinds of different fruits in it, but the True Blue cast strength that I have is incredible.
Yeah, I
have not got a chance to try the rye yet.
I saw the True Blue today cast strength. I almost got that, but I didn't.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, the True Blue cast strength.
I like their baby blue.
Like waffle pecans, like pecan waffles with a little bit of maple syrup and the Texas funk. I mean, it's incredible.
So
Jacob, you're going tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow morning.
All right. Well, I have to get you some money as well.
Going where?
I'm going into town here in Albuquerque. I'm going to pick up.
Oh, okay.
So I get this cooling like I would from the mint.
Did you guys get snow on the other side of the mountain today?
Yeah, we got our first snow this morning.
Yeah, even in Albuquerque they got a dusting, but I was wondering about like on the other side where you are at.
Yeah, we got our first like snow that kind of stuck around for a little bit. It was gone by mid morning, but yeah.
So that's New Mexico snow. It snows, then the sun comes out and it melts.
Well, we'll see in about 3 foot that'll be on the ground for like 2 months.
Adam, so you're sipping on that local pick, right? You guys. So what do you think?
Oh no, I cracked a Larceny barrel proof. The B batch.
B522. Yeah, that's the one I just picked up from Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a new one today.
Yeah,
it's
there's
the
a guy.
Bottle I cracked today.
There's a guy here in town that has that, and he wants $105 a bottle for it. And when I first saw it, I called Cheech and said, "What, $105?" And Cheech said, "No way."
I mean, it's a really good batch.
Yeah, but for any Larceny, he had the A batch. He had it for 105. He just keeps it at 105.
Yeah, we get him for 60. Eric, hit me up.
Yeah, I'm not paying 105. I already know that.
So Adam, actually, me and the Turks were talking about that earlier. What are your thoughts on the B522?
So I've had it. When Mike came out in the summer, he actually brought a bottle of it, and so we went through a bit while they were here, and then I finished off the bottle like myself. But so this year, my favorite was the A batch out of. I haven't tried the C yet, but the A was my favorite out of the C9 from last year, the B from this year, and the A from this year. The A was my favorite, but I do love the B batch. I love all the Larceny barrel proofs. Like I haven't had a bad one. Some people don't like the profile. I freaking love them.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm kind of the same way, Adam. I would say that I didn't love the A batch last year. I thought it was okay. I mean, it was certainly worth $60-$70.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, I definitely think some are better than others, right? I just don't think there's really a bad one in the bunch. It's very similar to the Elijah Craig barrel proof for me.
Yeah. But both B batch last year and C batch last year were both great. I think B was my favorite last year. And then this year, I'm really liking the B. Now, granted, it was just kind of a neck pour, so I haven't really got into it.
No such thing as a neck pour.
Yeah, I just poured this, and it's super hot.
Yes, there is. There is.
I can actually, if you'd like, I'll send you a scientific paper.
Well, I mean,
on the fact that it's not different.
Okay, so what I mean by a neck pour, just to clarify, Eric, I don't mean it in the way that some people mean it. What I mean by that is that when air gets into the bottle, it does affect, because ethanol escapes. So that changes the way that your palate perceives it. That's what I mean by a neck pour. Not that the neck pour is actually different liquid than, or whatever.
All I'm doing is pulling your chain, dude. Every time somebody says neck pour, I just say there's no such thing as a neck pour because it arouses a little bit of a conversation.
But typically my favorite part of the bottle, I'm just going to use this bottle for instance, is about here. So about inch or two below the shoulder. That's like the right amount of air to make the whiskey just really pop. And
sounds like I need to do a bottle chug then and get mine down to that point. Just kidding.
That's what I always do. I mean, honestly,
you can do that with the uncut unfiltered, Eric.
Generally,
deep throat the neck, Eric. That's what you do. That's how you get it down where you need it.
Yeah, just do that. No one clip that. Nobody clip that. So anyway,
I apologize. Every female who's watching this, that
it was a family show up until about 10 seconds.
No, it's
I brought a little live wire to the show. My bad.
You're past 10 o'clock, man. You're past 10. Not where we're at, but
it's Friday night.
I don't think we got to Katie's thing on the Balcones route.
We didn't. You're right.
No, yeah, Katie, tell us what you think.
I think she was trying to avoid it.
I was.
I think she was on the bad end that I explained. Everybody loves it, or everybody
she hates
real quick, Katie, before you disparage Balcones. Chris, you need to see snow at least once in your life. It's amazing. You don't want to like a lot of snow. Like just a couple feet of snow is good.
Well,
you don't want to like
come on,
so much
Chris.
that you can't drive around. But you need to see snow at least one time in your life.
Chris, drive up to Lake Tahoe during the winter, just go up to the mountains where you're at.
Especially like a fresh snow. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's just you got to see it one time. It's awesome.
Oh yeah,
All right.
sure.
Chris,
let's hear about how shitty.
Yeah, all right. Now,
tell
Katie, go ahead.
Katie, tell us how shitty that is.
Gotta say.
I won't say it's shitty. It's not shitty. I was just saying it's neither at 100 proof. It's neither good nor bad.
That's a good
it's
assessment.
very oaky.
Yes.
It is chocolatey, but there's not a lot going on.
No,
I
I've
want the
never-
cask strength.
Yeah,
I
I've
think the
never
cask strength
had.
would be different.
Yeah, I've never had the standard offering. I've only had a pick, so I can't really speak to what you're having. I've only had a pick of it, and it was awesome.
I'd love to try it.
Yeah. Well, I don't have it. I got a sample from the fancies. So
Yeah, sounds like
We'll
those
be in
pictures are
Texas
really
in a
good.
couple of
Yeah,
weeks. We'll probably find it.
We'll search it.
but I may have one soon. So when I do, then you guys will get some. But
So,
All right. So
speaking about Texas whiskey, am I cutting in on somebody? Sorry.
No,
No,
go ahead.
you're
no, go ahead.
Okay. Have you guys had Ranger Creek?
Yes.
I have not.
Ranger
Yes.
Creek, especially the Ranger Creek cast strength single barrel, is one of the best cast strengths I've had. Like, I will put it over any of the Bookers I've had. It is phenomenal.
That's a bold statement right
It's
there.
bourbon.
I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it.
Yeah, it's a Texas.
Appreciate it, Chris.
yeah.
I've never
look, Eric,
tried the,
18-year-olds.
I'm a Bookers fan. I love Bookers. And
So do I.
That's the Ranger Creek cast strength single barrel was just absolutely phenomenal.
I've never tried the Garrison Brothers, like the Cowboy or any of those.
I
So-
do like yours.
All right. So now I will say the small batch is not good. Don't
Garrison.
buy it. Yeah, it's not. No, it's a hard pass.
But if I want the cast strength, that's what, $200-$300 for those when they when they come
All right.
out. I mean, they come in that cool little coffin padded box, but still.
So that's the problem with Garrison Brothers. So the Cowboy is awesome. I mean, now you have to like Texas bourbon. If you don't like Texas bourbon, then it's probably not going to do it for you.
Those things are dark too. Holy shit!
The Cowboy is great. The Balmore is
Balmore.
awesome. Yeah. It's so good. The Guadalupe is good. It's not my favorite. But the Cowboy, the problem is the price. That's the
You're
problem
right.
with Garrison Brothers. The price is just ridiculous. It's if they cut the prices in half, then I could get behind them. I think Balcones is making just as good a product for half the price. So I don't really have a reason to buy Garrison Brothers. But I mean, the Balmore and the Cowboy are both excellent whiskeys. They're just really, really high.
Yeah, the only Ranger Creek I've ever had is the 44 rye.
See, I haven't had that one yet, but I had the 36 is the one, the 36 caliber single barrel cast strength. That one is crazy. And Total Wine down there in El Paso has some really good picks of it too. If I would recommend anything, that would be out of all the Texas stuff I've had, because I've had Still Austin cast strength. I've had the Iron Root Harbinger. Iron Root Harbinger is really good, but the Ranger Creek 36 caliber cast strength, that one is phenomenal.
We'll have to grab a bottle.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to,
the Brimstone
go find it.
Balcones, are those all cast strength, or is that one that's just released at
Brimstone?
cast strength?
I'm not sure. That Brimstone, that one's from Balcones.
Brimstone's Balcones.
Yeah, I know it's Balcones. I wasn't sure if they released it only at cast strength or not.
I wish that
That's one I would like to try though.
I wish that we could bring chat backstage with us. I don't want to cut into Ben a whole lot. You know, I think we're going to start doing a lot of what's that?
I said it. I didn't realize how far we were into this already.
Yeah, we're already a half hour in. So Patreons, a lot of you are here. Some of you are on screen. So I think we're gonna have to start doing some Patreon only lives. That way we can run as long as we want. It'll basically be most of the same group. Yeah, so then we can hang out as long as we want. It doesn't cut into anybody. So yeah.
Hey, Sean, here's a little hint. You can go as long as you want. Anytime.
Yeah, and that's actually true. I mean,
I know that
I know it's out of respect and all that, but
I'm not saying you're not
so
stepping
hard.
on anybody's
It's so hard
toes.
to not go over people anytime.
I love ADHD whiskey, but I'd rather be here right now because I get to talk to people and we get to talk about whiskeys we're drinking, rather than listening to somebody tell me about a whiskey he's drinking. And for me,
I think what Sean's saying is over Ben, because Ben is kind of a similar type.
And we're right. Ben's similar.
Well, so a couple things just on this, just so you guys understand, and not just you guys, but everybody in chat. Why I always try to not overlap Ben. I have a good relationship with Ben. I have literally shared whiskey with him in person. Ben's a good dude. I like him. We have a good relationship. We try and no, I mean, he sent me 4 bottles just last week. He didn't have to do that. He went out of his way hunting for those. So, I try to respect him for that reason, because he's been very nice to me and very generous and shared also. I mean, when he was down here in Kentucky, he shared some stuff that I would never be able to get. Didn't have to do that. So, and so for that reason, I don't want to cut deep into his time. I could.
Okay. I get that.
So yeah, that's why I try to cut off, fairly early into his show. That way I don't, pull too many people.
No, dude, I respect it. That's fine. I just, there are some people that definitely don't like it if you're going in certain areas. It's like, but you can't really control it like that. Like there's no set schedule is all I'm saying.
It's not personal. It's not personal.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Like people are gonna pick what they want to watch.
Right. And if we're talking about something like when somebody else's stuff starts and we're in the middle of a conversation about something, I don't want to just stop because they came on. And I don't mean it out of disrespect to anybody. It's just right now I'm in the middle of a conversation with a group of people when we're having a good conversation, and I don't want to say, "Oh, gotta go," because don't want to step on any toes. And I don't want to step on any toes. I'm not trying. I'm a dick in a lot of ways, but I'm not a dick in that way. Okay.
I wish that we could post the after party kind of stuff. Because a lot of great conversations happen there. Now there's some stuff that we talk about, backstage that maybe we shouldn't post to YouTube. Right. But I mean, also I've had just some great whiskey conversations and stuff that I think the community would love that I wish we could post, but there's no way to, you're not recording anymore. So, but anyway, so guys, we're going to wrap up. Everybody in chat. Now everybody on panel can stay. That said, the link is there. So if anybody wants to hop in, we got one more spot available. So if anybody wants to hop in, I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. While we wait on that, I'm going to sip some water and then get into, I can't even remember what the hell I have poured. I have 2 things poured in front of me. I don't remember what the hell they are.
One's probably the Petite Sirah.
I just finished my Fricola.
2 things, you don't know what either one are.
Yeah, so
I guarantee they're both whiskey.
Nailed it. So I think Ethan's right. I think my left glass is the Woodinville Petite Sirah. I think the other one is the Larceny B521.
Or is it the Old Forester?
It could be that.
No, Larceny. You poured more Larceny.
Larceny. Yeah, it's Larceny.
Right.
That's what you poured. Wow, she's less drunk than I am.
She's sharp.
Katie's on.
It bites me in the ass.
For as little as she is, she handles her whiskey really well. It looks like.
One day, Sean, we'll drink in person. You'll see. She handles her whiskey to a point, and then she does it. It's great.
Or maybe she's just taking very tiny sips.
We might see in the after party. We might see backstage.
There's that tipping point. There's that point where it's like the one sip goes, oops.
Yeah, I definitely have that.
There we go.
For me.
Oh,
Now we got a big stand.
Appreciate you coming in for us, Big Vic.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
What's going
Not for
on?
this
All right.
fucking guy.
So
Yeah, he needs to shit on the cowboy hat. I saw that earlier.
that's okay. That's okay. I love him anyway. All right. So, Mark, cheers to you, buddy. Thank you for doing what you're doing for me. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to put it up on Patreon. You guys can vote. We'll talk about times, day, all that kind of stuff. I think we're going to start doing some Patreon only streams. So we'll talk about it on Patreon.
Still living. I'm with you, brother.
Yes, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. Appreciate it as always. You guys are awesome. And also Patreon. This week I meant to last week, but it's deer season, so forgive me. I've been spending a lot of time outside of the house. So
you got anything?
No, because
talk about it.
we're after a specific deer, and he hasn't showed up in a way that he's takeable. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
You gonna shut it down?
No,
we're going backstage.
I'm going to bed.
We're going backstage. We're going backstage.
But so Patreon this week, I'm going to throw up a poll as to what our next Patreon giveaway bottle will be when we hit 25. So, wait, what is this? Fancies. I'm sorry. I don't have a paid account, and I can only have 7 unless somebody wants to drop. I mean, I can only have 6. If anybody wants to drop and let Fancies in, that's up to you. I'm not going to ask you to leave. Oh, well, they dropped already. They already dropped. No, don't.
Oh.
Okay, well.
You wanna do this on my shit? I'll fucking do a link right now.
Okay. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, so Vic has the thing. We're going to do a whole after party. Fancies, I hope you heard that.
I'll send her a link.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vic can text it out. You can end it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's an idea. Okay, so first off, it looks like I need to get a paid StreamYard account.
Stingy ass won't do it, so my number's in the chat. The private chat.
Hey, you know what, Vic?
Me so I could send you the link.
Okay, first off, I'm not going to curse, but you're not paying for it either, guy. All right,
Yes,
so
I am, bro.
I thought you were piggybacking off of Mike and Adam. Are you not doing it anymore?
No. They're taking advantage of me.
Oh,
they got
I'm
admin
okay.
to their shit.
Okay, so where's the link?
All
I'm
right.
gonna text it to you guys right now.
All right. So, guys,
All
we're
right.
going to shut down. Fancies, yeah, we'll see you there. I'm
Cheers,
sorry.
everyone.
Sorry, Fancies, I'm a cheap ass and like an old 6, but we're gonna work on that. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Everybody in chat, we'll see you next week. So love you guys. You're awesome. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Next week. You guys rock. And yeah. Peace out.
Shit, you